a battle master, I think.
Battle Masters are cool. I've done one of those before.
I really want the maneuvers. Those look
Yeah,
so
maneuvers
cool.
they're more fun because the other one is more passive. It's
Well,
just like,
that's the thing is I keep trying to do maneuvers and then you bullshit me by not letting me do them.
but not by giving you
Yeah.
rules.
I'm like, yeah, no, you just bullshit me. And now I know why. Before I just was miffed, but now I know why. It's because I'm not a battle master.
Yeah, I mean, and I even allow. So I'm letting you do other class features. I'm like, okay, you disadvantage in the roll because you're trying to do all this shit. So
Yeah, but this would give me
lets you do the shit.
Yeah. I don't know what a superiority dice is.
Ooh,
It doesn't
that's
tell
how much
me.
damage and shit. It's just like it'll tell you what.
No. It says expend one superiority die.
Yes.
So how many can I expend?
It'll tell you the class thing.
No, it doesn't tell me, dude.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, I have 4.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have which are d8s. And
You gain all your things as you finish a short. Man, oh jeez, yeah, I'm totally gonna be a battle master.
We lost something.
Short rest.
A short and long rest. Yeah. Yeah, being a battle master, dude.
Okay, so we lost Lindsay.
She did say something momentarily, and then she didn't talk again.
Bridget, do you say you have nothing for Z?
Yeah.
Zombie.
Did you not think of zombie?
Zombie.
I mean, I think I did at some point and then decided that was too horror and then gave up on not trying to do horror because it was going to be impossible.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, there's definitely a fallback one. I was recommending for X Xanathar, but that's Super Wizards of the Coast. That's another.
Well, I was doing. I have Xana Xana, which is probably very similar. It's probably actually based on the same things because they sound similar.
It should be Xanax, and it should be awareness around drugs.
Yep. You just do a hard shift later on. Okay. Does anyone need to actually do Jakuba? I know you do. Does anyone else need to do their leveling up nonsense?
What does Jakuba need?
Because I know you still were marked as level 2, Cody. So
I need to level up.
I don't think anything changed for me.
I know you rolled your hit.
You need L, Bridget. You need L.
Yeah, I was thinking Leviathan, but I'm not sure.
Oh, that's cool. You could do a leech or a lich. Or
weren't we talking about that the last game?
A lycanthrope? You could be a lycanthrope.
That's just another werewolf.
Or you already have werewolf?
No, I don't have. I have wyvern as W because werewolf seems too basic.
You want to go basic? It's a children's book.
I think
that was my argument. Kind of, Cody and I were debating that.
I think like a cutesy wish or a lich could be maybe good.
I feel like it should be 60-40. Yeah, I think it should be like 60% familiar, so kids are like, I know what that is, and they get excited. And 40% like they don't know what it is, so it's a cool little like, oh.
W should be were rat.
Were rat?
Yeah.
Couldn't you just be wear anything and just put where in front of it?
Now we've got the Warhammer people coming at us. Like, Jesus Christ.
I like wyvern. It's like a Celtic dragon.
Yeah, they're in D&D too.
Really? I learned it from Merlin.
Yeah. All right, Cody, you should look at your maneuvers, pick your 3. You have 4 superiority dice, which we're putting. Let's see.
Yeah.
How do you spell lick? Lich. Like.
L-I-C-H.
L-I?
Yes.
Like lichen?
Lich.
Well, that and Leviathan are both in question, so I'll put question marks by them. But yes, Cody Trinell, you should start thinking, even the ones I have in the alphabet, you can look up, and I'm taking polls in case there's better options. Like, I have Ogre, but, like, Ogre is meh. And T, I don't really have anything. I have Thunderbird, but if I'm doing Phoenix, then Thunderbird and Phoenix are too similar. You know.
Yeah.
Did Lindsay just come on and off again? What happened? Where am I on Roll20?
You could do a troglodyte. Oh wait, no, it's T. Never mind. Sorry.
Isn't it? Can't be something that has copyrights.
Yeah.
Isn't pretty copyrighted?
I don't know. That might be one of those old Celtic thingies.
You could do orc. Orc.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just on a monster index right now, and it literally has from A to Z different monsters that start that letter.
All right, Lindsay. Oh, she's gone again.
Yeah, she was here for a second. Lois will be able to get on at some point, hopefully.
Talk to me.
All right, so Cody, you just got to pick your 3 maneuvers. Yeah, really, you don't get much level 3, I don't think. And then Castamere, you said you were going to do some arcane trickster stuff, right?
Yeah, I'm just I'm setting my cantrips right now.
Well, you do get Braille spellbooks. Level 3. So you would learn another spell, because every time you level up, you get one. And you have 4 first level spells. Oh shit! No, level 3 is a big deal. 3.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. So the biggest deal is because now you have 4 level 1 spell slots, so that's good. But now you have access to second level spells, so you can look at the entire second level spell list, and that's where things start to get a little power. So you have 4 spell slots of level 1.
So I can pick one more level 1 spell.
No, so it's you pick 1 spell for leveling up, and you could actually switch them out too if you wanted to forget an old spell and get a new spell. But those are the slots that you have. So you have a number of spells that you can have at a time. That's equal to your wisdom, which is wisdom modifiers 2, and your class, which is level 3. So you have 5. So you have 5 spells that are not your cantrips. So ignoring your cantrips.
So I can pick I'm on the wiki dot thing now. So I'm in the second level spells that I can pick.
Yes.
Or third level spells.
Second level spells.
Second level spells, and then I pick one more. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, so you can look at those. And so you get to pick 1 new spell, so I would pick like a second level spell you like there. And if you like 2, you could forget an old spell. You just should have 5 that don't... so 5 total, not including your cantrips.
5 total. I have so many spells. I'm a magical bitch.
Your druids are magic bitches. No, Veruca was tricky because she's so far behind, so I might not give her a subclass for now.
Well, yeah, and especially because she's trying to actually figure out how to write stuff out, like, on her own.
Yes, so I'm going to slowly I'll just pick one for her and slowly try to, like...
It sounded like she was going to get on in a few minutes, though.
Yeah, she did say...
Okay. Guys, we figured out that my butt can tell if the weather's going to change.
Huh.
That is the thing that actually happened, yeah.
It's my tailbone that I broke when I was 12.
Yeah.
It was hurt real bad last night, and I was like, what, is it going to drop like 30 degrees tonight? And it literally dropped exactly 30 degrees. Because not because my tailbone hurt, but my tailbone predicted it.
No, I think it's because your tailbone hurt. I think yeah. Correlation does equal causation.
Yes. What is all this stuff? There's so much new stuff.
Yeah, with Veruca, yeah, so when you get to those, and they're much more powerful when you get to those level 2 spells. Those are your big hitters. Ah, jeez. I might make her College of Glamour.
Do I have to think about the components of things? Like, what do components mean?
More so for flavor, like you can roleplay, like you pull out your feather or whatever. There is situations where like some campaigns play it to where, like your staff. Your staff is your spellcasting focus. So as long as you have your staff, you can ignore all that stuff, unless it'll explicitly say something is consumed in the process, or it requires something at least worth so and so gold. Those you are important. Otherwise, it's just doesn't really matter. Not a big deal. Yeah, but like some campaigns actually do that to where like the spellcasters it's like really low magic, so you can't just throw spells whenever you want. It's like you gotta get some sheep wool or something and make that for your spell.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're not doing one of those.
I was gonna say, because it said I needed like specific things to do the spell, and I was like, what?
It could be like I might do something fun where I take away your staff or something, like it gets stolen or something, and then if you want to count on the magic that before you took for granted, now it's like, oh shit, I actually need to find some sheep wool, some twine, and that could be for an interesting campaign.
I'm gonna do Flaming Sphere.
Jeez. Oh,
I have a question.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to mention, True Strike is one of the worst It's really bad.
Is it really?
It's really bad. Because basically it gives you advantage on the next attack, right? So, whereas you could just attack twice. So the first turn you're doing your True Strike, and the second turn you're attacking with advantage. Whereas the first turn you could have rolled to attack, and the second turn you could have rolled to attack. And then so
yeah.
It's I was watching videos and it's kind of like mocked. And there's some stuff, if you really like the idea of it, we could try to make it work. Like buff. There's an easy one where it just guarantees the next one hits, like automatically.
Shine.
Yeah, but just letting you know if you want to pick something that's more interesting, because I know True Strike is kind of a joke there. And
Shane.
Yeah.
Does these three sound good? I got Sweeping Attack. I got Brace. And I got Bait and Switch.
I remember reading some of those. Sweeping Attack. Oh, that's a UA one.
Cody, why isn't your video on?
Hey, Marissa, did you ever get that water? I think she's feeding the animal.
Marissa, baby, you ever get that water? Okay.
Flaming Sphere.
Wait, Bait and Switch is pretty crazy. You can just pick someone up and then put them where you were, so they're the one who's being attacked.
The opposite of that. I switch places with someone being attacked. I can do it both.
No, it could be both. So, I mean, it doesn't happen on reaction. So it's not like someone's attacking and you can swap with them like that. It's just, it says when you're within 5 feet of an ally on your turn, you can switch places with them. And it gives them a bonus to AC. So if you're like in front fighting the guy and you're a little wounded, you could be like, oh shit, pick up Brielle behind you.
Okay, never mind.
And then she gets AC equal to that.
I was thinking I could be like, take the place of someone's below.
No, it says on your turn. We did something like that for Kyle in the other campaign as his custom class. But, yeah, that's how that one's worded. Oh, shoot.
There you go. Here I is. Guten Tag.
Oh, right. The thing I was going to ask. So, I am looking at the Rogue Arcane Trickster in the Wikidot, and I'm seeing like Mage Hand +2. Is there like somewhere on my character sheet that I need to like acknowledge that like I have a +2 in Mage Hand? Because it seems like it goes up as I go up in levels. Like, not much, but
I don't know what the +2 means. Is that how many hands you can have active?
I mean, I guess. Well, no, because so like from 3rd level until 9th level is +2, but then at 10th level is +3.
Oh, that's just I'm reading here. That's not changing mage hand. That's how many cantrips you know. So you know mage hand just flat. You get it? And then +2 other cantrips.
Oh.
And then you know 3 spells of the 1st level. And then you have 2 spell slots of that level. So you have 3 1st level spells, 2 slots of that 1st level.
Right. So I can cast the spell twice at 3rd level. So if I wanted, out of the 3 that I can know, I can cast the same one twice if I want to.
Or one and the other, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
It says the spells you know must be from enchantment and illusion from the wizard spell list. So, because it'll tell you if they're like what category they're in. So it needs to be enchantment or illusion.
Gotcha. Yeah, let me double check.
And then the spells you learn at higher levels can come from any school of magic later on. And you have a thing called Mage Hand Legerdemain, so you are exceptionally good with your Mage Hand. So you can make the Spectral Hand invisible. It says you can stow one object the hand is holding in a container. That's kind of weird. You can retrieve an object in a container, worn or carried by another creature. Basically, you can pickpocket or plant stuff with it. You can use your Cunning action bonus action to control the Mage Hand instead of using your own like an action. And you can use it to be sneaky if you have your... yeah, you can roll like sleight of hand and all that stuff with it.
Shame.
So Mage Hand is basically bonus action. You can move and do your Mage Hand stuff. And it's much more... It's like an extension of your own hand. Anything that you can do with the Mage Hand, pretty much, except attack, then it can do as well. What's that, Cody? What's that? Oh my god.
Shine!
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 Yeah.
Shine?
Yes.
Okay. 2 things. What is an artisan thing?
Okay. First off, I think we're going to try to do something where I know we're kind of waiting on people, so this is a little bit of a special occasion. But I think normally we're going to try to have all this stuff done before we sit down to play. So like all
Shine.
this stuff. I'm gonna do a thing where it's
Shine.
like, you guys
I don't know what this
have
stuff
it.
is.
If it's not ready, if you don't ask me the question outside of the game 2 days earlier, then you're not going to have it. Like we're not going to sit and then do all the bookkeeping. It's kind of on you to read it and learn and figure out. I'll answer questions, but this is where you got to take up some of the responsibility here.
I thought I didn't have anything exciting because you said my exciting stuff all happened in level 2. So that's all your fault. Hi.
We haven't even started yet because they're just all that stuff I was telling you to do bookkeeping. They're waiting on me to do it. So here I am doing all their stuff. You don't? No, I mean you want Overwatch. Okay.
Shine.
Shine.
Okay.
What's an artisan thing?
An artisan thing.
Yeah, I get to be proficient. Yeah, I get to be proficient in an artisan tool.
Oh, you just pick like, do you want to be a glass blower? Shit like that. Do you want to be good at painting? Do you want to be good at?
Do you want to spend your time in town making bowls?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
You want to be so pottery, mason. Think of like anything you
No,
can make.
that's where I thought you were going with that. My bad.
I think Jakuba is a glass blower.
I'm a glass blower.
I mean, that's a profitable glass in medieval times. It's really fucking expensive.
I will be.
So you can just pick like if you want to be a stonemason or whatever the heck. You can think of painting.
Jakuba the painter.
You could. Whatever.
Okay.
Jane!
Yes. All right, Bridget, yours.
I'm going to trade Entangle for Spike Growth
Oh shit.
and Goodberry for Healing Spirit.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Healing Spirit might be. I don't know if it's written on this one because it did go through a change because it was super broken dumb. And this isn't me nerfing it. This was okay. No, it reads like it did. Before there was no cap, so basically healing Spirit's super cool. It makes like a little spirit. Like if you ever played a WoW, it acts like a light well, to where people stand near it, it'll heal them.
Yeah, it says within 5 feet or whatever, it heals them.
Yeah, so it does a lot of healing, but what they forgot to add is a cap to that, so people out of combat were sticking it there, and it would just heal full. It would just fully heal anybody standing next to it. So now there's a hard cap to how many people.
Wait, does it heal the bad guys too?
No, because you can choose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that would be counterproductive if I was just healing everything that was next to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So when Lois gets here, I'm trying to figure out what she gets because I know.
Do you want me to change those out, or?
Yeah, go ahead and change those out. I want bookkeeping to be 90%.
I just wanted to make it sure that it was okay to change those.
No, you can change them. Typically, and as a druid, you can actually switch spells anytime you take a rest, like a long rest. So you can actually try out a ton of spells. Other characters are a little bit more strict in what they...
Well, Spike Growth sounds super badass, just saying. It's way cooler than Entangle.
Spike Growth.
It's invisible spikes all around us, basically, that kill things.
So let's say, like, especially like my character's background, with him like being a guild member and everything. Let's say, like, hypothetically, like I wanted to, like, we get to town and I want to take like I don't know, like hit up an informant or something to like make some extra money with a guild contract. Is there a way that we could like just roll to see if I was successful with that contract, so we don't have to spend like an hour and a half on that adventure? Just
Yeah,
be like
could.
that.
I would like everyone to have a little bit of like viewership respect, so that way we do have the opportunity to play it out, like not an hour and a half. Because I think I do pretty good at being able to like Game of Thrones style, just super cut between scenes where it's like Casimir gets his 5-minute spotlight, go to Brielle what she's doing. So as long as everyone can like be comfortable waiting their turn but watching, we could streamline it.
In town, and like you kind of narrate a little bit about like what happened, and then it moves on.
Yeah, so I'd like to be able to have a little bit of that, but we can also super streamline it where I'm like, okay, do your investigation, do your persuasion, do your deception, boom, and then we'll just do 3 checks, and then it'll tell me what you get. So we could speed it up as much as we want. We can slow it down where it's like. But I was, especially with Lois, I wanted to have a focus because she mentioned something where she's like, "Oh, is this all we're doing? Is fighting zombies? Is that the game?" And I'm like, well, that was a lot of the last 2 games, so I'm wanting to...
That was that game, basically.
Yeah. So this one I'm wanting to be much more focused on to show, especially for what more D&D can be, because like there's sessions where you don't swing a single sword, that's fine and also fun. But so some players really like the combat, some players really like role-playing, some players really like exploring, so I'm trying to make sure everyone gets that little dosage.
Is she gonna show up later?
She says she is.
She said she was almost home.
Jokuba. Shane.
Yeah.
I'm changing Cure Wounds to Dust Devil.
Alright, so don't rely on her for any healing, guys.
No, I have a Healing Sphere.
I know.
You have already so much offensive potential with your Shillelagh. Why?
I have the Healing Sphere. What do I need Cure Wounds for?
Let her play the character.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. But I'm just... We'll see how it plays out. Because remember,
I feel like
Spirit,
I did more damage than healing.
Shane, the Rusty Ruster, the Bugbear Sword, how much damage did that do?
So it's a typical 2d6 like normal. But,
no, but I have Healing Sphere. What do I need anything
its
else
specialty
for?
thing is it's disadvantage on your attacks, but it does extra damage.
Oh.
Yeah. So when you roll your attack, it's.
But I only have 2.
It's just an automatic disadvantage. Basically, it's -5. So -5 to hit.
Yeah.
I should have an attack spell.
Yeah. So you can choose like if you swing that one, it's much less likely to hit. But if it does, it's harder.
I was just thinking I should have things that attack.
I mean, it's fine. Just keep in mind, like, you're basically our tank.
That's 3. Isn't that 3?
No, it's 2. I got you up there.
Dude, Shane, that was a perfect roll. I used that for my next attack.
Who's rolling for what? What's happening?
Wow.
Tell him to slow his goddamn roll. I'm coming.
Alright.
Shade.
Use that.
My maneuvers are sweeping attack, brace, and pushing attack.
Okay. I'm also down. This is where if you want to think of a custom maneuver that doesn't, I think they cover a lot of the shit you can do, but we could totally like homebrew shit.
I want what's this guy's name? The guy from Demacia, spin to win. I want that move.
Lindsay says she's gonna try to get on your mom's phone plan tomorrow, supposedly.
That'd be cool. Watch it be just as shitty because it's not the phone plan; it's the fact that her house is made of like lead.
That could be it, but I think it would help if she had something that wasn't Google whatever.
Yeah, and the weird thing is just like she's in her house, and then all of a sudden, like she has like perfect connection.
Yeah.
And then the very next session, it's just like she doesn't exist at all.
It's like she's on Mars trying to cut through.
Yeah.
Is she?
Okay.
Does she live in an apartment complex? Is that?
I think it is.
Oh, that would be it too. Yeah, all that. Everyone using Wi-Fi signals can get all sorts of fucked up with that.
I don't know, man.
Anywho,
I'm ready to play.
Can we have as many like artisan things as we want?
Nope.
How many can we have?
So, honestly, none, except unless your class, your background gives you one. But I could probably give players like one. Like,
No, that was specific to me.
yeah, so that's the thing, is like because Jakuba's class specifically lets him get one, it is unfair if I just give everyone stuff like that. But your background could have given you one. So if you want something that makes sense for your character to have, then like if you're like, my character's good at painting, like, okay. But
Well, I mean, like my character should be good at like making. I mean, in theory, she'd be good at making like herbal remedies and teas and stuff.
Yeah, so I would grant your character an herbalism kit is an artisan tool. So yeah, thumbs up on that. We could do that one. Tricky part with that is honestly, there's not a lot of fucking rules on how to use these things. They're more so for like role playing. Like honestly, in the books, there's not a lot. Like in this guy, there's some extra shit. Like, let me read what it says here for your. Yeah, like proficiency with an herbalism kit allows you to identify plants and safely collect their useful elements. But this is also a supplemental book. This isn't even the core rule book, so you'd have to get a bonus book to just figure out what the fuck these things do. And it's like basically, if you get extra advantage if you're trying to identify plants. Like if you're good at nature and you're good at herbalism kit, you're even better at doing that. Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to think about what I could do, like if I'm, when I'm in town, like I could make herbalism, like wound salves, and I could become a beekeeper and make a bunch of honey.
Yeah. Basically, there's not a lot of rules for some of the stuff, so we'll just kind of like I made up a whole kind of an alchemy system for Marissa because her character is an alchemist. I know Castamere wanted to also do alchemy, so this could be a cool blending between your characters.
Yeah, I mean, like well, the way I figured it is like my character his like one-off action like during the rest period would be like the guild. Like I'd be like the gambling mechanic, basically. Like we go off on the mission, make some money for the group. I bring people with me. We can roll their roles into mine to help kind of determine like how the mission goes.
Yeah.
And like maybe like a little bit of very, very basic alchemy. Like I hadn't really planned on expanding it beyond like some very basic like poisons and things like that.
Yeah, I'm kind of fair with like not restricting too much either. Like there's some basic poisons here. The way I did it with Marissa is basically we just had a little mechanic called like alchemy points or whatever, which you could call it whatever you want. But if you go to an alchemist and you're like, or an herbalist or whatever like that, and you're like, I'll spend 50 gold, you get an equivalent of 50 alchemy points. If Bridget was out scrounging around looking for herbs or that glowing mushroom she found, I would have her roll and she can get a certain amount of alchemy points, which is just basically she's finding gold pieces, but they're components. And then later on, when you craft, the crafting rules is if you try to make something in the book like a vial of acid or poison, then it just is half the cost.
I have acid. I don't know what I have it for, or why I have it, but I have it.
Find acid, yeah, you did find acid.
It's in my inventory.
Yeah, you can throw it on someone and it's nasty. Or pour it on stuff. But so that's the basic, the super simplified ways. Is there's some stuff I was looking online where they make this like giant ass list of all the different things you can find and they're named, and I'm like, holy shit, that's too much. So you just have a base. If you want to like, if Bree wants to like look around and find plants, she can do that, and it just adds to the how many component points she has. And then when you go to make a potion or something like that, you're able to draw from those and.
Lois just doesn't know how to get in again.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I'm not having high hopes with the teaching her the
character. I'm gonna go to the bathroom really fast.
Okay.
Well, I guess we can wait for Lois. She's in Discord. She says, DM, how do I get in? Literally every single time I tell her, and I don't understand. She's not, like, imagine if we were trying to get Grandma to do this. Grandma would just be...
Wait, hasn't your grandma like set in, or am I?
She didn't sit in. I have sent her video. Like I've sent her one of our YouTube recordings.
She hasn't sat in. But I mean, like Grandma's proficient on eBay. I don't understand how she doesn't understand like Facebook and stuff.
Yeah, she's on Facebook.
Like we grew up with this like just being life. I mean, this is like a new skill for them. So
yeah,
they can compartmentalize in ways that we're like, oh, this is just basic life. Like they understand like little bits and pieces.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't life. We didn't play D&D over the internet.
But even something like even like just the sheer fact that you've seen Lord of the Rings gives you a huge leg up to a lot of stuff. Yeah, Lois comes in again talking. Yeah. Okay. Lois, quickly, while they're figuring out stuff, I had a little question on yours because we didn't get a chance to talk about what you wanted to do. So this is the thing where everyone gets to specialize a bit. So I'm gonna lay out, instead of going through all those things of what sounds cool, of like going in depth of what they do, I'm just gonna say the names of some of these, and you pick one that sounds cool. So. These are different Bard colleges, which is like the school that you study in. Do you want to be the College of Glamour?
No.
The College of Lore? The College of Swords? The College...
Well, I've got really good points on wisdom, right?
Charisma, that's the one that you're really good at.
Charisma.
Yeah.
Wasn't she history, though? That would work with lore.
Yeah, so like lore would fit.
What are the other ones?
Valor. College of Valor, or College of Whispers. So it's like, do you want to be Whispers is like you're kind of like a spy. You like use your like playing an instrument, and you use your way with words to basically get into fancy places you're not supposed to be, learn secrets, and it would actually work really well with Castamir's character because he's totally that kind of a roguish type as well. Can
he go to that college, or is it just for bards?
That's just for you. You can't go to that college, but you two could team up to do some cool stuff.
Yeah, the synergy there is actually really good because I have an in at the Thieves Guild. So, and actually we were just discussing like what we're getting ready to do with like the long rest where we're all in town and we're just kind of going off and doing our own things and such. Like one of my character's things is I'm going to be looking for guild contracts. So that's a way for the group to make some money. And if you have that particular skill, that would help with my guild contracts. So like if you and I went on a guild contract together, that could potentially make it so either we pass the checks that Shane is going to, set up, and then it also might potentially like increase our reward too.
So Shane, that would be good for the whole group then, right?
Yeah, it could be cool. Like it fits narratively with Castamere. Like you guys would be a good team.
Okay, let's go
some of the
for it.
stuff you can do too. Like I'll just read you a description. I'm reading this now because some of this stuff I haven't seen before either. You gain the ability to make your weapons magically attack their mind, like with your little fencing sword. So you know how I told you before you had that bardic inspiration. You can inspire one of your fellow players to be a little bit better at something. Let's say
go Cody, go.
Yeah, basically you can say whatever you want. One of my friends flavors it as he like high fives them and they get a special bonus. But this one you can use one of those whenever you attack with your little sword, and it makes you do psychic damage to them. Yeah, so you'd be able to. That actually is very, very strong. That's pretty crazy. You also can use words of terror, so you can make people afraid by whispering into their mind.
I've got a lot of talents that I don't really have, so yeah, I can make people drop from fear just by saying nasty things to them.
Yeah, the target becomes frightened of you for an hour.
Is that a real hour?
In-game hour. Yeah,
so
that's actually really freaking cool. Yeah, so if you like the College of Whispers, and you're free to change if you're like, this is kind of boring, then there's like other ones.
I don't have the knowledge at this point to think it's boring because I don't know it well enough. So
yeah.
You can make your Jakuba really afraid of you for an hour, take all his money, and then run real far.
Wow.
Well, my thought was actually to play music until he goes to sleep and then take his money and run.
Wow.
Wow.
We love you, Jakuba.
Such fellowship and teamwork.
He takes all the gold from us when we all do the work.
He did some of the gold.
Yes.
Shane, I require you in the secret channel of secrets when you're available.
Oh my gosh.
Cody left.
Shane?
Yeah, what's this?
When we're in town, I would appreciate it if there's some kind of like post office service where I can send money. Okay. Essentially, my family is still enslaved, and I'm trying to buy their freedom.
Okay.
Because I won my freedom from the pits.
Okay.
So it'll still be like a secret thing from the group, but I'm essentially going to say I'm going to find something like that in town and send money.
Yeah, we'll have a moment. I want them to have you like go to the post office, so they're like, what's he sending? What letters does Jakuba send? So that'll be fun. Okay.
Cool. All right,
I'll hop back.
Oh, they're back.
Yeah, okay. We should join them.
It's on video. Okay.
Okay, we feel like you were talking about us.
No.
Actually, no, nothing to do with you.
Nothing to do with you guys at all.
Okay, now I'm really confused because there's just two of us on here. How do I get back to that? General?
You can't see us?
You can't see everybody?
I can see you.
Yeah, you can call me General.
Yeah, General.
There might be a little arrow.
Lieutenant.
That's a very Jakubian thing to say.
Yeah, Lieutenant.
There we go. I'm back. I'm feeling a little short today, though.
You have it up weird.
What's the deal?
There you go.
Oh. Okay.
Lindsay was here, but she can't get her internet to work, Lois. That's what you missed there.
Well, I saw that, but I told her she should just go steal internet from her job.
Well, she said she just got home from her job.
Yeah.
And then I told her that we need her because she has a magical sword now, but we don't need her now because we fought the big bad last week and we're just chilling this week.
We don't need you this week.
Yeah.
You accidentally killed the boss.
We needed her last week.
So we're gonna do a thing there.
Fitting was her.
Did we get to vote on who had the coolest moment last time? I don't remember.
Yeah, we did.
Yes.
Who won that?
I don't remember.
All right, so Jakuba, you have
me with the
advantage.
flaming discus.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And I think Castamir, I gave it to you for my DM. So
Yeah.
Castamir and Jakuba have inspiration for this round. And then we'll do a little last we left our adventures. You guys go see what you remember.
I mean, do they even need inspiration if we're just kind of chilling?
Because you can use it for anything. Like they might want to persuade a shopkeeper to give them a discount. Or something like that. So,
You're going to Mexico.
yep. Okay. So what are you guys doing there? What was your last kind of recap when we left our adventurers?
Oh yeah, I have a body on my shoulder, and we are.
Which is just normal for you.
Yeah.
We strode off into the sunset. After burying that casket of whatever that is.
Sunrise. It was the sunrise.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And we're currently trekking back to the town.
Are we going to the town, or are we going to the burned up place with the just
Yeah,
not?
what do we decide?
I think we need to go to the university and then to town.
Yeah. I think that was the plan.
Okay.
Because your dead guy is the guy who left the university and did screwy things, right?
Yeah, we should probably deliver the dead guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, who wants to carry a dead body around? Except for you.
Because he wants to get paid. I thought that's
Yeah.
the whole reason why we were going.
All right, so you guys are traveling.
Here's a
You've just-
body for you to carry.
So
Yeah.
you are all pretty tired, exhausted, actually, having fought through the night. And as you are leaving the broken tower that is in the center of this blast radius of desolation around you, the sun has just crested the trees behind you, giving light to everything that you see. And now before, when it was just kind of like a little bits and patches, you can see the total wasteland that this patch of forest has turned into. And so you're heading back, and as you walk back, like walking out of it, you eventually start to reach where the blackened and shriveled grass and trees start to grow green again, and Brielle gets very excited as she's stepping foot back on living grass. And you do find, because you guys did leave it there, Brielle, your horse that is lamed that you tied up there. Because I guess it's just been following you around. Still kind of hobbling around with his little lame leg.
But it's I mean, it didn't get any more injured or anything.
No, he seems fine. He was
Poor
grazing.
thing.
He had no idea what lied just beyond. He was just kind of grazing, chilling. Can't really run fast. He can kind of plod at walking speed, but he can't really carry any loads right now with his wounded leg.
Its name is Jim Bob.
Jim
Do you want me to put it? Do you want me to put it down?
No, I'll put you down.
Kill him.
Poor thing. The thing is ruined.
Would be the nice thing to do.
Jim Bob is my friend. More friends than all of you.
It's your lucky day, Jim Bob.
Okay.
You don't
And
know me.
yeah, Lois, I also have your spells here because we never really quite went over them. So I'm just going to, if you want to, you said you had your little paper next to you.
No, not next to me, but I might be able to find it.
Okay. Or if you just want to scribble down, because I'm going to give you some that are pretty
Unusual.
self-explanatory, that fit the kind of way we're going here with you. So.
Okay. Go.
Okay, so you know Zone of Truth.
Oh.
That is a second level spell, so just put the number 2 next to it. That matters here. You know Invisibility. You can turn invisible.
Okay.
Then you know Unseen Servant. So this is one, that one's basically you can make a... Do you remember Fantasia with Mickey Mouse? How we can make like things just dance around magically and carries water pails and stuff like that? Basically that.
The brooms?
Invisible. Yeah, so it's invisible magical servants that just can do stuff for you.
Where?
That's level 1. Sleep. Level 1.
What is that? I can sleep?
You can put other people to sleep.
Oh, I already... yeah, I had that one. Yeah, okay.
Okay. So that's 1,
That's
2,
it?
3, 4. Hideous laughter. You can make someone laugh. You can make someone. No, that's some good laughter. You can make someone laugh so bad that they fall down and can't control themselves.
I have some weird ass skills.
Yeah.
How come she has more spells than me?
How many did you know?
5.
Actually, let me check. I need to double check these. Really
I'm
quick.
better than you. That's why.
But I'm a druid.
You just claimed a lame horse as your best friend. So
Bards know
deal
6.
with your
So
lack
Bards
of
should know
skill.
6 here. How many did I give you?
Why does a bard know more than a druid? That makes no sense.
3, 4, 5.
Says right here.
I am what I am. Deal with it. 6. Yes.
You have 6 so far?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And if you want to switch those out, and then you have the 2 cantrips, which you remembered.
What kind of yelling?
The 2. One is create a minor illusion. So that's a freebie. That's your cantrip. So you put a 0 next to that one. And you know the vicious mockery of the 0.
How can that be a 0?
Yeah, so those
Is
you
her
can use.
minor illusion, is that the one that she can change into like how she changed into the goblin, or is that one of the spells?
Oh no! So
Yeah, I have the goblin one
shoot.
too.
Yeah, no, I was like, yeah. So pick the ones you don't like there, because I think you had a healing
Take away
one.
hideous laughter and give me back my.
Okay, so that one, and then you had a healing one. If you wanted that, you could take away a different one if you didn't like it, and give yourself a healing one again.
Well, healing is always good.
Okay, so yeah. So
So
if you can
take away unseen servant.
Okay, so you get rid of those 2, and then you know healing word, and you know the disguise self. Okay, so we'll go with those. And then the other thing you
I
have
don't
is,
remember all that.
the other thing you have is a bardic inspiration. That's not a spell. That's just where you can inspire people, and you can do that a number of times equal to your charisma modifier, which I believe is
that my high one?
That is your high one. +3. So you have that 3 times per rest in town. So every time you rest in town, these recharge. So you guys are traveling with this lame horse that Brielle is now kind of like leading.
Brielle's
along.
best friend.
Yeah, and you guys are actually, having stayed up the full night, I want you all to make a Constitution saving throw really quick.
Oh.
So I will do this for you, Lo Maruka.
Loruka.
Loruka.
Yeah. It's like when people try to say kids' names and they just say all of them.
I have the name Lois Finelli. They say it wrong whether they're a kid or an adult.
Yeah.
I'm usually Lewis Family.
Lewis family.
Family?
Family.
Lewis family.
I got a 20.
So that means
You're feeling great.
Yeah. So Brielle is feeling great. She's invigorated, having just saved the forest.
I am
she's actually,
super awesome,
she has a
excited that
spring in her
everything is
step.
beautiful.
Castamere is, you get 1 stack of exhaustion having pulled the all-nighter and having.
I have a stack of exhaustion.
Yes, you as well, Veruca. Jakuba,
Do I still have
you
my
feel
stack
fine.
of exhaustion?
If you already would have one, it goes away at the long rests.
Jakuba doesn't know the meaning of stop.
Yes, you would have the stack. Basically, this is giving you, until you guys kind of long rested off, you have disadvantage on ability checks. And it's
Well, I have one from when I was knocked out of a bobcat.
Yeah, because did you use your hit dice? I think. Let me check that really quick.
Well, I mean, I know I had a stack of exhaustion when I was knocked out of a bobcat, and when we stopped playing, you said that we could just go back to like we were gonna make our spells and our health and everything back up to normal again, but I would still have the exhaustion, is what you said last week.
Okay. Yeah.
Until we did our long rest, which I mean, that's what we're on our way to do. But
yeah, the spells don't.
I just didn't know if it changed since I rolled a 20.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Well, with the 20, maybe. So, well, yeah. Actually, with that, that's actually kind of fun. So, you are invigorated from having just saved the forest. It's just that
y'all are like dragging
feels so
yourselves,
good.
and I'm just skipping around all gleefully.
And so you guys start making your way back to the academy, trying to follow the known path that you guys took here. and it's another pretty far trek through the woods. You're still traveling when the sun reaches noon, so you're tired. You're
cranky.
As you guys look for some food, who wants to be the one who looks for food really quick?
Jakuba.
I can gather vegetation and stuff, but I'm not getting meat for y'all. But I do want to collect blood from the zombie bears that we killed on the way back.
Okay, I'll say that you've collected. What are you keeping it in, actually? What are you keeping this blood in?
Vials.
I didn't say vials. Glass is pretty expensive, so I'll give you a couple vials. But
I can blow some for you if you need it.
Yeah, Jakuba's a glass blower. You missed that, Baruka. You decided
Jakuba's a glass blower?
A glass blower, because he gets to pick for his little class level up. He gets to pick a artisan tool set, which is like he can be a painter or
I'm not a glass blower,
a masonry worker, just some kind of tool of the trade. And we were joking he's a glass blower. So I'll give you 2 vials, Brielle, but that's any more you'll have to buy.
You know, glass blowers have to blow hard, so you could be one.
Yeah, those big lungs. So Brielle, you're not proficient in survival, so we're gonna say, I will roll.
But I'm proficient in like my background says that I live off the land, so I'm proficient in collecting,
Okay.
Like root vegetables and things like that.
We'll say, so the thing I rolled here, this is basically my ration tracker for you guys to see. I think this is a less bookkeeping way of doing it. Because I'm going to roll this 12-sided dice. It's representative of how much food and water you have. And if I get above a certain number, you guys are fine. Like, so while you're walking back, Brielle's able to find like roots and vegetables, passing them out. Everyone sees this just very nutritious and very bitter, healthy little bunch of roots and leaves.
Way to get us bran muffins.
That are
You are welcome.
And so they do sustain you as you go on. You're able to kind of like munch on some rations, but your total rations don't drop as you guys travel back. And the sun crests a little past noon as you guys finally kind of make it back to the academy. And you see as they're still kind of industriously trying to like work and rebuild, and you actually see things floating on their own, like being picked up and placed back. You see some of the students kind of waving their hands, and pieces of the academy are being kind of like taken apart, all the ruined parts, and they're slowly rebuilding it with the help of like a couple of stone workers, but using their magic to make it go faster.
I march over to the guy who sent us into the forest, and I drop the body at his feet.
Yeah, so he just sits there, and then as soon as it kind of slumps down, he just like he jumps backwards, like in startled horror. He's like, "What is this? What is this?"
Jakuba fulfilled his end of the deal, and I hold out my hand.
He does like a little double take, and like he's just like, "Is that one of our students? Is that Jessica?"
I do this. I go. I beckon more.
So what is this? You bring live students back, and then you bring dead students. What?
This one deserved it. Don't ask how he died.
What do you mean he deserved it? Look at this. He's covered in fleas, like flea bites. He's missing an eye.
Good times.
Whatever student he was before he left, he wasn't that student now, bringing him back.
And what makes you say this?
He killed half the forest.
I don't know. How would a student kill half the forest?
I step forward and I show them the gemmy thingy, the circle of undeath, or whatever the heck that was called.
He jumps back again and kind of like, like again.
And I'm like, this dude destroyed the forest and he deserved death. And I don't know if I want to give you back this gem because clearly you do not have control over your students and you should not be in possession of such thing.
Google.
Do a persuasion check.
I gotta know what that is. Okay, let's see. Core stats.
A dice roll, Shane?
That's a dice roll from Bridget, yeah. So she's rolling a 20-sided dice, and then she adds her charisma modifier to it. And then she also, if she's good at persuasion, she adds an additional +2. So anything you're good at, I honestly don't know. So anything that she's good at, she's not from this roll here.
Well, wait, I rolled the persuasion. What do you, I didn't roll a 20-sided dice. What do I?
You did. It would have been a 20-sided. So persuasion rolls a 20-sided automatically for you.
Oh, okay.
So he sits there, and it's just he's not convinced that you're. He accepts that Jessica, like the rumors were true. He heard the other students talking about, like, kind of the lone wolf Jessica kind of running off with the amulet, but he thought they were just kind of rumors. But here it stands, the evidence in front of him, so he's convinced of it. But he is not willing to just let you walk off with such a powerful artifact just on your word alone.
I want to roll an intimidation and explain everything that happened to this man.
Okay. So you're trying to intimidate him in order to. And he's just sitting there horrified as you're just recounting all this
intimidation. I don't know how I keep failing.
He's like rolling. It's like all these shitty things you've done to this guy. He's just instead of being intimidated by them and being scared of you, he's just getting like he almost like retches. He's just like, oh, why?
Yeah, because we're war criminals. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I take on the form of him and kind of like a ethereal him and say that I'm him and tell him what they say is true?
You could.
I'm gonna try that. He doesn't see me yet, so.
Or you can just be a zombear and be like, "This is what I was."
Well, he didn't go for the intimidation, so maybe he'll go for, the fake truth. I mean, the guy did do all these things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just confused about your intent a little bit. So you want to look like him in order to like
She
almost
wants
like
to basically like pretend she's the ghost of him and confess.
Yes, and he did all the things.
Oh, the ghost of Jessica.
Yeah.
Oh, you meant to.
I thought you meant the guy that
you just turn into the guy.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I want to turn into him and tell him it's true.
Yeah.
So yeah, you kind of like just apparate it as Jessica appears in a kind of a ghostly, pale, flickering form, and he's just
you can see through
he does another like triple tech, like and at this point he's holding his chest like just gasping, and then Jessica
he's gonna have an asthma attack and die.
Jessica recounts. Just don't throw.
I have the
fleas
words
on
for that.
So, like, and you're able to use the College of Whispers to kind of like to make your words kind of strike a chord of fear into him as he's hearing all of this, and he's just like,
does it work?
I'll have you do a persuasion check. So we'll say with your spell, because you burned a slot for that, it's with advantage. So what are you trying to do? Are you trying to intimidate him? Are you trying to
well, he's not believing that he was as bad as he was, and we want him to have Jessica confess to him that, yeah, he really was that bad, because he's not listening to anybody else.
Well, I mean, but what good does it do to have him confess? He's dead.
We'll say we're going to go with it.
It's ghostly.
A fun plan.
He's confessing so that the teacher dude gets it.
Okay.
Are you saying it's a waste of my talent?
No, but you do have to say, I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for those meddling group of whatever.
You should name your group, actually. I will give you guys I will collectively give you guys 100 gold to split between you guys if you can unanimously come up with a cool name for your group.
At the same time?
No, not like at the same time. It's just from here on out, if you guys all agree on something, like it could be later on. It's just, I have 100 gold bounty for the group if you have a cool name. For this
Takuba is interested.
The Fabulous Five.
Except for sometimes there's 6 or 7.
It has to be unanimous on that one. All right, so I did I'm lucky
there's only 5.
Sometimes there's...
Right now, today.
Yeah.
Well, no, Shane doesn't count.
I know, but you said
Wow.
the Fabulous Five.
That cuts deep.
Yeah, Shane doesn't count. He's a nothing.
You know who else doesn't count? Margaret, because Margaret hasn't existed ever.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn into an NPC at this point. Like, she'll come in and be able to roleplay the NPC sometimes, but all right. So Veruca, you actually rolled a 22 on your persuasion check with that. So this
Holy
ghostly,
crap!
I rock.
From using your minor illusion ability too, like you just kind of manifest out of Jessica as a
Jessica
ghostly
wants
form
to
of
tell
Jessica.
them that they need to give all of us the money that they said that they would. Not to Jacumba, but to everyone.
So you recount. It's just this. You recount the sins of what Jessica has done in first person. You're like, I have done these things. And,
this one time when I was 9.
And you mentioned that now you kind of like add a little spin to it to say that your soul's been trapped by its guilt, and the magical stone has kept it from its misuse.
That and Jacumba burying me.
I didn't bury nobody.
You didn't bury. He's laying right there. Yeah, this body.
Oh, that's right. You brought him with you. It was other things that you buried.
And then as the form flickers and fades, you're able to use your minor illusion to kind of create like a little smoke and duck behind it, so that way you fade back to yourself without him seeing us. And so now he's just stunned from all this stuff going on, and I'm gonna have him do like a quick little thing. He rolled a 6, so he believes it. He believes that the spirit now trapped in the stone has confessed its crimes, and he's like, my God, by all that is holy, that's... And he's like, I guess we owe you a great debt of service then, as he goes and kind of like shakes your hands. He doesn't shake Jacumba's because his hands are covered in blood and gore. And he's like, well, yes, we've been able to salvage some of what we've had here. So we do have, and I have it really quick.
Money, 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 money.
So he does. He gives you guys, each of you get 20 gold, so collectively between you. He's like, I'm sorry we didn't have more in terms of just coin. We're using it to rebuild, but as this was a research facility, we have quite a few student projects that you might find some interest in. And he gives you guys a magic item called the Immovable Rod, a magic item called the Goggles of Night, and then a single potion that has inside the flask is a swirling mist of purple that just is kind of like constantly coiling around it. And he's like, this is a weird little bugger that Jost cooked up while you were gone, and he didn't want it, so I guess you guys might. But
I'll
here are
take
some
the weird little booger.
Here are some student projects. You guys can kind of figure out what you want to do with them. They all won first place in the prizes, so they were very, very interesting. Yeah, so you guys decide.
Tell us what the crap they are.
You could ask him there. Normally
what does
I won't
the potion do?
Yeah, normally I let you guys identify stuff, but he'll tell you guys here. You'll be able to identify it like through Arcana checks and whatnot. Veruca, I know Veruca was good at that. So he tells you the potion is called Potion of Gaseous Form. It turns you basically into a mist for a period of time and allow you to pass through keyholes, under doors, through small cracks, and you're resistant to normal forms of damage as they just kind of pass through your being. The Goggles of Night they actually kind of look like kind of gaudy looking. They're kind of like night vision, yeah. They're gaudy looking, kind of like have owl eyes with kind of like the spiky feathers, so they look.
And apparently
kind of like
owl ears.
As they go back, there's like a little. Yeah, there might be a little bit of an owl. They kind of like curl around the ears and crest up. They kind of look like old school Batman, like from the old Batman, kind of like the silly DC era. And the immovable rod is it's a rod that you can stick to something, and you click the button, and it'll now stick to whatever you stuck it to, and it can hold 4,000 pounds until it's clicked and taken off again.
So you can click it to a person?
You could. And then someone else, whatever it sticks to, if you click the button, it can now it can hold up to 4,000 pounds on that.
Like held in a rope.
Yeah. So you guys can figure out what you want to do with those.
Or we could stick it on your best friend, the horse, and he could carry something.
I would really like
okay, y'all need to just get off my horse.
Don't get on it though, because it cannot sustain the weight.
He'd be able to if we stuck the rod on him.
Yeah. No. It doesn't let him carry. It just basically it's like the rod that you stick to. The rod can now hold. It's like super.
Yeah, stick it to the side, then we can load it on the rod. See?
But he wouldn't be able to carry the 4,000 pounds. It doesn't allow him to magically carry 4,000 pounds. It's basically like a rod with super magical super glue on the end that you can easily detach. And Castamere, you were saying something?
Well, I was going to say, I think that I could make really good use of that rod. And as counterintuitive as I think it is, I think that Jakuba should take the potion.
I want the potion.
It's kind of.
You are the biggest person there, so that would get you into places where you could beat the crap out of people. So yeah, go ahead, take it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I take the potion.
Yeah, but he's also real dumb. So if we want him to go in and like unlock stuff,
no, we want him to go in and kill whatever's bothering us.
Yeah, because apparently we don't give a shit. Like we're just gonna go and maim anything that comes across our path. Apparently, so
Exactly.
let's just lean into it real hard.
His job is to kill and destroy.
no, we don't kill animals and bugs.
Zombear, hello.
That one was I tried to communicate with it. It almost killed me.
Perhaps you should change your attitude.
No. Me and Jim Bob against the world.
You still have bugs in your pocket?
Yes.
And the.
So we got the
add that to my inventory. Just handful of dead bugs in my inventory.
So Albrecht, the man that you were speaking to with the beard, kind of your liaison between the academy, and he's like, "Well, I appreciate your service. I thank you for the great assistance you have given us, but I must ask that you return the amulet now. Can't just have that wandering back out there."
No, I want it destroyed.
He's like,
I will use deception to try and convince him to let us keep the amulet.
Okay,
I want to destroy it.
That could be the deception if you're going to convince him that you're trying to destroy it.
I don't trust it or its existence.
Yeah, or you can, or if you have another argument that you want to tell him.
I'm going to tell him. I'm going to tell him that we're going to take it to the guild and have our contacts there.
Our people will talk to your people.
Yeah. It's going to be handled by top people. That's my deception.
Okay, go ahead and roll that. Oh shit! He rolled a 20. So
he's gonna buy it.
No, I rolled a 24.
It's rolled a 24. So he rolled the 24, but a 20 on the dice is a special occasion for everybody to celebrate. So he's like, oh yes, of course, our resources here are so limited from the fire, we couldn't possibly destroy it. So I've heard the reputation, the unsavory and unsullied reputation of the guild, but they are known for getting things done. So yes, of course. And in fact, like if you're trying to get this thing destroyed, he gives you an extra 10 gold. He's like, please make sure with post haste get it gone from this world.
You were holding out on us?
He's like, I need my lunch money.
That's a big old lunch.
It is. Yeah. That's actually 10 gold. It's like $1,000.
So, I have the amulet, so I'm gonna take the 10 gold.
He hands it to Castamere because Castamere made the deception check, actually.
Well, I have the amulet, so.
All right, so you have the amulet for now.
I have the amulet.
Let's give. I'm gonna split it up amongst the group. So that'd be 2 gold and 5 silver per person.
I thank you.
You can mark that.
See how that works, Bridget, Brielle. See how that works.
Teamwork.
I don't actually need it. I'm just keeping it from Jakuba.
You have a reputation, Jakuba.
I can see that.
How much did I give you guys all for that mission complete? It was like 20, right? So 22.5. So Veruca gets 46. And 5 silver. Okay, you guys are getting a little stacked here with your monies. And
we need to go to town and buy stuff.
Yeah, we're about to go to the town, so.
Yeah, well, that's a side note is D&D actually really sucks at giving you guys stuff to spend gold on. So if you want to get really creative with it, like what are you gonna buy, Brielle? What does Brielle want ever in the world?
A bug cage to carry around.
Yeah, so you gotta get inventive.
I am going to start a bee colony in my time off.
There we go. That's an inventive use of your gold. I appreciate it because that's like once you guys buy your weapons and armor, which some of you even just start with it. It's like okay, there's literally nothing else to really buy. Like it's more of like vanity projects. If you want to build a giant gold statue of yourself in this town you saved, awesome, go for it. Okay, so. As you guys are about to kind of like milling about, kind of like looking where to go next, Jost, the alchemist, the surly one that you rescued, kind of like stumps up. He's like kind of walking up to you guys. He's like, "Oi, oi! I heard you were going about guild business." And then he turns to Castamere. He's like, "As you know, I have a little bit of dealings. They buy my things. I sell them things. It's a business relationship." It's like, if you're looking for another guild contact, there's one in the town nearby of Penshaw, and you should ask for the establishment The Wounded Rogue.
Do they have money?
Like, I mean, the guild is practically made of money, and most of it is not theirs. But...
Do they have work to be done?
For capable
Also,
hands, the
I'm
guild can
going to
find a
get-
use for even a brute such as yourself. The guild can find work for.
Then I will be going there.
Also,
Alright.
I'm going to get vet care for Jim Bob
Okay.
in town.
She
To
says
make
as
him
she
not
lifts
lame.
the cat across.
All right, and as you guys, he points out the town of Penshaw, kind of like draws you a really rudimentary map, and kind of like points you in the direction of the northwest. And he's like, you should be able to find like a path, kind of walk along the road. And what are you guys doing from there?
Well, how far are we from town?
So you can also, so the way that the long rests work is you can choose to take one technically wherever you want. I've been working kind of behind the scenes on them. It's 2 days of uninterrupted, like no fighting, no adventuring. You can do simple stuff but those 2 days, and they can be done wherever you want. Like if you want to make a camp, spend 2 in-game days there. It's a lot less safe depending on where you make your camp. Like that does factor in. But after that happens, you recharge all of your spells, all of your abilities kind of refill, and you get half of what's your hit dice, which is your natural healing. So you don't get your HP back normally. You have to spend your hit dice to heal, and you get half of those back on a long rest. So you might need to camp out like for a while to fully heal you guys up, or like spend like a week in town to like if you guys are really beat to hell. So that's the way that this works.
I'm going to the inn.
All right, so the inn there.
It's safe. It's quiet.
So you'd
I
have
can
to
take a
travel
shower.
to the inn. Yeah. So if you guys are trying to like make your way to the inn, the academy, the guy offers you some of these burned out smells of smoke, and not much is left on them. He's like, you're welcome to just take a few rests here. It's relatively safe if you want to just take a moment, a little breather here at the academy. It's the student bunks, but I'm sure we could make it hospitable to you.
I clasp his shoulder. Thank you, and I'll go do that.
He's like, it's nothing fancy there. So this is just a quick little long rest to get you guys recharged with your spells. So as we do this, we're gonna kind of go over how this works. So you can now, because we'll say you're safe at this mage area. There's plenty of like wizards and stuff around you. No one's gonna come and hit you here. So you're able to recharge your spell slots, and you're able to if you need healing, like if you're wounded, what you do is you roll these hit dice you have to heal yourself naturally. It's just representative of your like natural ability to kind of recuperate. So if you're wounded, go ahead and roll some of your hit dice.
I don't think I'm wounded, am I?
I don't think you were.
How do I? How many hit dice do I have?
So at level 3, you have 3. It's just 1 per level. It's in your core stats. Yeah. So
hit dice.
Yeah. So you just kind of keep track. There's current and max. Max, it'll automatically tell you how many you have. And then you mark down current. So like if you roll 1, just mark it down to 2, and that's how you
So
heal.
if my HP, if it was 12 and then it went up to 16, do we, like, does it stay, is it 12 and then I have to just roll to get up to 16?
You mean if you when you leveled up, you gained additional hit points?
Yeah.
I'll say that when on a level up, they both go up. So your current and max go up a little bit. So everything kind of goes up.
I can't remember if I did
I'm
my
not going to
level
be
up.
too strict. I know you didn't. I don't think you did.
I don't think I changed anything on my level up.
I don't. So on your level up, you probably need to roll another hit dice, Cody. We should double check that because your hit points are pretty fucking beefy already. So you would have been 2. You said 10, D10. I think you did because at 33 max, you would have gotten 4. So you start with 14. Yeah, I don't think you could have possibly rolled up to 33. So I think you did roll.
What?
How would you get to 33? Like, you can go backwards from the math, but you get 2 hit points per level up. Start at 10. You're level 2. So then you would have been like 14 from that, and you would have rolled a 1 10-sided die to get your next. So how would that even be able to get?
And I'm a Goliath.
Yeah, but I think we counted that. That's your Constitution bonuses. So
Listen to the master.
The master. Barska has 40-something hit points.
He's a barbarian. He has a D12. He's
Okay.
also level 3. And now he's level 4, I think, on the other campaign. But, okay, so while you guys are doing this is kind of like where you get kind of in tune. So, Brielle, while you take this long rest, you are able to go out and kind of commune with nature in general, and you're able to... And I'm going to say, actually, while during this communion, you're able to... You yourself are able to heal the horse.
Yes.
As you're level 3. So you're able to kind of like, you sense that nature is grateful to you for kind of helping to not quite cure the wound as it hasn't cured itself yet, but you're able to stop the infection that it perceived as wounding it in the forest. And Castamir, as you are taking your rest, you're kind of, you have a few books that you've been carrying around from the, like the kind of the guild, and you've been trying to crack this pretty much an arcane equation, and then it kind of just hits you as you're resting here, and that
you just wake up from a dead sleep, like, oh my god.
Yeah, there's like a eureka moment as things kind of click together, and this thing that you've been trying to figure out both mentally with the equation and like the like gestures and stuff, you're able to like wave your hand and manifest like the telekinetic ability to lift something, and that's what gives you access to your arcane trickster. Jakubo, you're just training. You're in the yard just doing drills. Like they're just watching you like morning to night. You're just doing freaking drills, just repetitive, like perfect motions. And as you are
the same downward chop,
the exact same one for days. They actually like while you're doing it
butter for like a week.
While you're doing this, they put wood in front of you and you just chop, and then they go and they put like a roll of ham and just chop. And Veruca, you actually while you're doing this, a letter drifts in to your window, somehow knowing it has your name and your address of like the Burns student dormitory on the east side. And as you open this letter, the envelope kind of wisps into dust and flows off, and you open it up, and it's just a single imprint of like a symbol, and then that turns to dust and fades away as well.
What was the symbol? Do I recognize it?
You do recognize it. It is from your Bard College of the Whispers, and it's just an acknowledgement of your almost a graduation. So now you're acknowledged and inducted into their ranks and are able to do their and reading this symbol kind of not just recognizes, it kind of taps into something in your head, and you're able to now get access to some of the College of Whisper abilities. And so on the dawn of the third day that you guys have spent at this academy, is there anything else that you guys would want to do during this long rest of your own personal while you're hanging out at this academy?
Can I buy a cow and make it into beef jerky?
There is no cow at the academy.
Damn, I thought it was in the middle of the, Illinois type place.
Well, not at the academy, maybe in town.
Yeah, there's a town. This is kind of it would have been kind of some Wizard Tower stuff, out kind of in the middle of secluded from typical.
I look for a post office of sorts and see if there's any kind of delivery system.
So I'll say actually with a cow, you're able to they do have some sources of food. So they're well, we don't have a whole cow. That's.
Have you seen how much it takes to make beef jerky?
He's just well.
I was just thinking if we had a cow, and we slaughtered the cow and we beef jerkied the cow, we'd have food to carry on the way.
I am not 100% sure, Brielle. I wonder what Brielle would do.
I would not be happy.
But you're able. Care. You kind of do a little glance at Brielle, and one of the little wizard students kind of sells you some black market jerky that he's gotten from town. So you're able to for
black
probably
market jerky.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say
it's made silver. From goblin.
So I'll do.
Jerky.
It's 10 silver. I'll mark it off. You're able to get. And so instead of just keeping track.
Some peanut butter.
Some peanut butter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure one of them kind of shares. You're talking with some of the students. They're sharing some of their student meals. There's some of them are eating poor. They're eating ramen noodles and kind of now. Not only did it cost a lot to get in, but now the whole place is burned down. So they're kind of distraught. Jakuba, you're able to kind of communicate with one of them, and he's well, sir, I don't have much of a post office here, but there's and he kind of drags this little kind of a shy looking young girl. She's well, she's been training in some interesting forms of magic. She can send messages to whoever you wish to receive them through her experimental spells. If you'd like to give her a shot, and she's kind of glancing up and glancing down. She's not really making eye contact, and she's it is true. I can send a message wherever you wish.
How safe is this message?
She's well, it's actually not communicated through any physical means. We're able to send it directly to the mind of wherever you want.
What about physical items?
And she kind of looks around. She's she scribbles on some piece of paper, and she's yes. If we do this, then maybe yes. I think we'd be able to. We'd be able to transport it through. And she actually she folds basically a paper airplane out of. And she's writing runes on it. She writes runes on this piece of paper and folds it into a paper airplane. And then it has a little pouch at the bottom. And she's this can fly wherever you wish.
And will you know if you succeed?
She's I can make it where you'll know. And she puts this little stamp. She has a thumbprint on the ink, and she puts a little stamp on the back of your hand. And she's when the thumbprint goes away, you'll know it's there.
And how much do you charge?
She's well, the ink's kind of expensive. It's written special components. If you maybe a gold piece.
Okay. I give her 20 gold and I say, send it to Hama in the south.
And she's Hama in the south. And she's asking how to spell it and getting more detailed locations of the town and all that. And then so she actually what's that?
Oh, no, I don't know how to spell, so.
Okay.
Come on, Hamah.
She brings some other. You have this little conference as you have a student in sociology trying to understand the Goliath culture and trying to figure out like how you would spell a common name.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, I think we got it here, and then they toss the letter, and I'm gonna do a little roll.
Secret love child.
So as you watch this paper airplane, it just kind of like floats gentle, does a loop, and then it zips up to the sky, and then it flies off directly to the south.
I'm staring at the seal on my hand.
And she's like, "Well, it might take a while."
I will keep staring then.
Okay. So anything else anyone wants to do here?
Well, I failed at the beef jerky. I got some black market.
You got some black market jerky.
So we're still at the academy. Like, we're not in the town. Right?
No, you're at the academy still. You took your long rest here because you guys were pretty beaten up, and it might be a little more journey to the town. So you thought it would be prudent to kind of recharge a little bit here. And okay, so you guys are gonna kind of like the dawn of the third day. You guys decide to make your way there.
You did not explain to me what the zone of truth is.
So the zone of truth is a zone of truth. You make a little circle there, and they are.
Thanks.
Anybody in this zone can't lie. Like they can have a chance to resist, but it's basically like a magical truth zone.
How big can the circle be?
Let me check really quick. It's not super crazy. It's not like the whole town. I think it's like it says it's a 15-foot sphere, like radius sphere. So
I don't know what that is.
Basically a small room.
Okay.
Yeah.
So more than one person.
Yeah, more than one person. Like a small, not like a whole room, but you could like an interrogation room size. You can picture in the movies, kind of like that size. Yeah. So they have a chance to resist it, but if they fail it, then they cannot lie to you. Okay. And then
Me and Jim Bob are just conversing and talking to each other because I can talk to him.
It knows it's being coerced, though, so it's able to kind of talk around. So it can't directly lie, but if it's smart enough, it can try to say avoid speaking the thing that it doesn't want to say, but try to be forced to say. Yeah, I think you get what I mean there. So as you guys are leaving, kind of like saying goodbye to these poor besotted students trying to rebuild this academy, Brielle kind of like leads out this prancing. It's absolutely this like the lame, ugly little pack horse from before is now kind of, he's well groomed. His mane is flowing now. Looks like all picked free of brambles and burrs, and it looks fit.
I'm riding him.
Yeah, Brielle is riding this. Yeah, he's not very fast. He's kind of old, but he's a pack horse, so he's able to kind of help carry some stuff of yours. Able to have Brielle and maybe even one other person, because Brielle's so small, ride. Not at like
I glance towards the horse.
The horse immediately, he's like not even making eye contact with you, like trying to be like, no.
I hear Jim Bob whisper, "Fuck that guy."
Yeah.
You do. You hear Brielle is able to at will converse with animals.
Yes.
And so you guys start making your way. And I have a piece of paper here. So you guys start making your way down.
And we won't be slowed down by your tiny little legs, Brielle.
No.
No, I'm on a horse. I can go faster than all y'all.
We're
even
off
though he's
to
not
see
fast.
the wizard.
Yeah, so you're walking through the kind of like the smaller forest. It's not as dense as the one that you had gone to before. Just kind of like a sparse. You see some paths kind of traveled by, and as you guys start to get closer, the paths get wider and more well trodden, and eventually become a much more official looking road that starts to like kind of like wind and travel. And as you guys start heading in the direction that they noted to you before, you see a couple of other travelers kind of like heading down the opposite direction. It's just like kind of a regular man, kind of like with his own little mule, and he's the kind of has a like young girl kind of sitting next to him as he's kind of like helping her hold the reins, and they're just kind of like traveling opposite you guys.
Can we ask them where they came from?
Yeah, you can. So you kind of like oh, they kind of like wave him down, and then kind of like look over there, and he does a little double take, and he's kind of like squinting as he sees this kind of crazy looking band of of different people there, and he's like, oh, fellow travelers there. You ask where I'm coming from. I'm just coming from Peyton over there. Let me make sure I got that name right. Penshaw was the town. He's like, yes, I'm just coming from Penshaw. I got some vegetables here in my cart. Go and grow them one place, sell them in another. Kind of the farmer's life.
Can we buy some vegetables?
He's like, yeah, I'd be happy to kind of sell some vegetables to you. And he kind of like goes to the back. He flips open, and there's like some cucumbers, some like tomatoes. He doesn't know they're not a vegetable. It's totally a vegetable in his mind. But so he has some tomatoes, some corn. Nothing too like a staple crop. It's kind of looks more of like a small garden variety of vegetables.
Do you have any kohlrabi?
Kohlrabi. I don't even know what a kohlrabi is, so you're gonna have to explain that.
Kohlrabi.
What the heck's a kohlrabi?
It's like a giant root vegetable that has all the stems coming up like this, and it kind of tastes like a radish, but it looks like potato.
I'm gonna roll really
So
quick.
I'm gonna ask Brielle what she wants.
I rolled a 15, so this guy has kohlrabi. He's actually yes, kohlrabi.
I'm spending 10 silver pieces on various vegetables that don't take as long to rot. So cucumbers and tomatoes are crap because they rot real fast.
Carrots and
we're actually going to say, because you guys are kind of stocking up on this, and you have the pack horse because you have enough. I'm going to say basically, remember how I mentioned your provision die, like your ration die was a 12-sided. So because you're stocking up, you now have a 20-sided ration die. And it's normally like it's kind of a large amount of food that you're kind of like packing up on, but your horse is able to kind of carry a lot of.
Good thing you healed the horse.
So I currently have 7 rations in my inventory. What do I up it to?
We're gonna kind of scrap the idea of that. So I'm trying to use this instead of having you guys like. I feel like it was boring me just daily being like, okay, mark off your rations, and then like kind of keeping track of that. There's a mechanic I want to try. We might go back to that one. It's just the 20-sided dice or the 12-sided, and then depending on the environment you guys. If you're in the desert, then like there's a fair chance like if I roll a 5 or below for you guys on any of your dice, then it shrinks the next size, and it keeps shrinking until you run out of food. And then if you're like in a town, I don't even roll as long as you guys are spending money to like keep up. Like,
but you're keeping track of like the dice that we're using.
Pretty because it's super simple this way. It's like right now you have a 20-sided die instead of keeping track of each person's individual numbers of rations. It's just you have a 20-sided dice, and that's an abstract concept of how much food you have. Like if you roll it, your food doesn't drop because it's assumed that like Brielle can find some food. You have enough rations, and then if it does drop, it shrinks to symbolize you guys going through some of your supplies, and eventually it'll shrink down to a 4-sided die, and at that point you're like 1 meal away from like potentially running out of food. So it's just I'm gonna try it. I think it's an easy way to scrap some of the bookkeeping and make it more interesting. So yeah, now you've stocked up. You have a 20-sided die of rations.
I tell the farmer that I'm going into town and I am going to start a bee colony and ask if he would like me to make some of the bee colonies in his at his farm.
He's like,
because they help with farming and such.
Those little stinging bastards, the little stingers.
No, those are wasps. These are bees. Honey.
He's like, Okay, he rolled a 1 on his intelligence, so he actually doesn't quite know how his stuff grows. He just grows it. He like waters it. He's a very simple farmer, and he doesn't know the difference between.
It's really hard to grow root vegetables.
He has a very green thumb, but he does not know the difference between a bee and a wasp. So he's just like, you keep those yellow bumble bastards away from me.
Fine, have all your vegetables die.
No pollination.
Enjoy your last sale.
I will let you do a quick persuade if you want to try
Bumble
a persuasion check to change his mind. I was just doing an intelligence check on him to see if he knew.
No, I don't care that much. He can just die.
So he continues. He like takes off his little straw hat and he waves at you. And then as he's going, he kind of whispers. He goes like, "We totally sold those vegetables at a premium." And to his daughter as they're going. So yeah, they continue on their way. You now laden with vegetables, kind of make your way. And you have a pretty uneventful. It looks like a very simple road as the night starts to fall again as you guys are traveling along. And as it starts getting dark, what are you guys doing?
How far are we?
What?
How far away are we?
You guys actually didn't ask. You just were told the direction. Yeah. So you guys just kind of pointed a direction. You're like, hey, head this way. And you're like, okay. So you guys don't really know how far.
I am feeding Jim Bob an ear of corn and making a vegetable stew for the rest of us.
Okay.
I'm going to pass out beef jerky to everybody but Brielle because she doesn't want it.
I don't
I'm going to investigate the area to make sure it's safe to set up camp here.
I go with Casimir.
Okay. You guys do a roll of your choice. There's a few. You could do like perception. That's like keeping a lookout. Investigation would be kind of like getting a sense of things. Survival. You can kind of make a case for any of those if you wish. Okay, so Jakuba so Jakuba does a survival check, so Casimir, you have to do something different there to symbolize you guys kind of keeping an eye out. Alright, so Jakuba, you're kind of taking stock. You're not too familiar with the area here. You can't really get a sense of things too much, but you're able to kind of, with Casimir helping you, you're able to kind of like find a off the side of the road clearing that's like kind of tucked down, not too visible. And the dice I rolled, your provisions kind of last. You're able to, you don't go through much of it as you guys kind of like munch on your little jerky. And the horse does count as an extra player. He eats quite a bit, so he'll increase the chance you guys run out of provisions while you have it with you.
I bought all the veggies, so
true. I'm just saying.
I'm feeding Jim Bob.
You got another mouth to feed there. So Jim Bob's eating his corn.
Baby Jim Bob.
Plus, we don't have Lindsay, so, you know.
Yeah, you guys don't actually have like a tent or anything, so you guys are just kind of like roughing it. And bedrolls, you guys are kind of just laying on sticks, moss, grass, and rocks. It's not a very comfortable night under the stars as you guys kind of like are preparing your camp.
That's going to get us
how I sleep best.
Yeah, Braille's fine with it. Does anyone else, as you guys are kind of like starting to wind down for the night, is there anything else you guys do?
Well, did we find out if there's anything around us when these guys did a check?
They say it's pretty open. It's just like a kind of like open road. They found a little clearing that's kind of off to the side of it that's not too far into the woods and has a bit of cover from like, it's not easily visible from the road and it's not like deep into the woods. So they think it's a fairly secluded place. That might be good.
Yeah, we always think it's okay.
Yeah. So, but does anybody else do anything?
I'm gonna play music so everybody can go to sleep.
All right, yeah. So as you guys are kind of like setting up your camp, Veruca's kind of just sitting there. What instrument do you play, Veruca?
Oh, I think you told me once, didn't you?
You can pick. I'll let you pick what kind of instrument you want. If you want to get weird with it too.
I will play a flute.
So she's
the kazoo.
Yeah, the bard actually knows a few instruments. So you're playing like it's like a recorder from freaking grade school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I put anybody.
Random off-topic question.
She has a guitar.
Guitar?
Yeah, what was the question there, Casimir?
Anyway, I don't know why I didn't play a bard. I have a guitar hanging up on my wall. Can you? I mean, like if I recorded a JPEG if I record like an MP3 or an MP4 or something like that, could you play that through Roll20 through the media player?
I could play it through my. Actually, I have a thing here. Let me do this other thing really quick.
He wants to make us a soundtrack.
Yeah, if you upload it to YouTube, I can play it through this rhythm bot here.
Okay, cool. I was saying because I could make, I could make her some
tunes.
Some
You need to make
pre-recorded
you need
tracks.
to make something for me that is soothing so that everyone can go to sleep. I can sing you to sleep, or
Yeah, that's the easiest thing. The hardest thing is going to be like the upbeat, like high tempo, epic battle music. That would be the hard part.
well, I don't think I have that skill. I think I can just put you to sleep. I'm kind of boring.
Yeah, but as
But
background
melodic.
soundtrack music, you know.
Yeah. So,
Cody's not working right now, so.
Yeah, I might as well write music.
Yeah, no. If you wanted to upload something to YouTube, we could probably add it there. Let's see if I'm playing this. Does anybody hear this rhythm bot? He's supposed to be playing some stuff.
I see it, but I don't hear it.
I heard it before, but now I don't hear it.
Yeah, I heard it last game.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
It's probably stopped.
I hear it, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So if you upload something to YouTube, we should be able to kind of like I can put it into this rhythm bot.
So it streams it directly from.
Yeah, I just pull it from YouTube, and it'll just play it. I'm usually doing like Skyrim soundtracks or something like that as background music. But if you wanted to add like custom stuff, we could totally do that. All right. So is there anything else?
I find an owl and ask if the surrounding area further down where we left has gotten better. If he can go fly over and see if it's getting better.
Okay. Do an animal handling check with advantage to see. Yeah. So roll animal handling twice. We'll take the higher one. As you kind of are able to call out, and you're able to find an owl as it kind of like swoops down. You're conversing. The owl is proud and does not immediately like the idea of being ordered around. But
20.
you actually okay. So you actually are having this deep philosophical discussion with this owl as he's he understands concepts much more than the horse does, and he actually takes a shine to you. He takes a liking as he hears of your concern. And he's actually going to hang around with you. He's going to fly back, and you have this little bit of an owl companion.
got an owl.
Yeah, so he does. He takes off, and he says he'll find you once he does a little like observation, and then he'll come back. And for the time being, actually, yeah, you have an owl. Like, he might not stay forever. He's proud.
Do I still have my squirrel?
I mean, I'm sure you could have a squirrel.
Or did he run off?
I remember you saying that you're kind of like collecting pets and letting them go. You had a spider at one point and let it go. So you're just kind of.
So Cheyenne, my artisan proficiency is going to be blacksmithing.
Okay.
And so I just start going over the nicks and notches in my sword because I think last time I kind of like almost broke it.
I think there was a damage thing. So do your artisan check. I'm going to say. Yeah, I'll say you probably need something more than just like a little whetstone to totally fix like a sword like that. But yeah. Let's say, what do you think would be a good skill? What is a blacksmith? Would they use strength for this? Would they use?
Well, they pound, so yeah, they need strength.
Yeah, strength.
Okay, do a strength, and then just roll a d20. You're adding your strength to it, and then you're also going to add +2 for your artisan skill with your blacksmithing. And then, does anyone set like a fire or something, or are you keeping no fire?
I mean, I'm making vegetable stew, so I suppose I need fire.
Brielle, I think you can make fire.
Vichyssoise.
Drew Craft make fire pretty easily. So yeah, no trouble making the fire. And Jakuba, you're kind of polishing the sword there, but you're not able to fully repair. You're kind of able to give it a little bit of a keener edge, but.
And need to get to town.
I will come up with something too with your blacksmithing to temporarily buff weapons and stuff like that. So yeah,
I just have this like amazing image of like me as like a little hobbit riding a pack mule with an owl in the background, like screaming shillelagh with a staff at people.
All right. So as you guys kind of like the night's getting a little darker, you guys eat Brielle's little vegetable stew. How do you all feel about Brielle's vegetable stew?
It's delicious.
I'm gonna do a constitution check.
Okay. Actually, Brielle, roll just a d20. So you just roll a 20-sided die flat. Because I don't think you're proficient in cooking. That's actually a thing.
It's
really
vegetable
hard to
stew.
poison people with vegetable stew.
Yeah, they're not poisoned. It's just it's very bland. There's no seasoning.
Yeah.
There's no flavor. It's just
We
it's
have
like all of
salt.
the. It's nutritious. You can tell. Like it's not gonna poison you.
I
but
mean, it's literally vegetables and water.
Yep. You just boiled the flavor out of these vegetables. And everyone's
You
like, yeah.
didn't use any salt.
Yeah, but I'd
I
say
don't
if you
have
rolled
salt.
if you rolled like a higher one, I would say that you had like some saffron or some other shit like that.
Glance around, and
Fine.
when no one's looking, I put a little bit of goblin in my soup.
Oh,
Just keep eating it.
I
like a-
I know, it's gotta be rotting by now.
It's like a
Yeah,
toad
right.
he drops.
It's like wasabi to me.
All right, and so as the nights, you guys
coulda
all.
used some beef jerky. Hey, that's what we can do. We can put beef jerky in our soup because it's salty.
All right, so you guys, the soup tastes a little better with some meat. The salt kind of diffuses into the soup, gives it a bit more flavor, and yeah. So as the night's getting a little deeper, you guys finish your meal around this campfire, and do you guys talk about anything? Like,
I ask them what they all are thinking about doing with the amulet because I want to destroy it. So I want their opinions.
What does the amulet do?
so as far as you guys know, it's judging from what happened is Jessica was using it it would suck energy and life force from the surrounding area into it, including the wielder. It would take some of them, and then it would put it into another creature that was dead. And they were trying to use it to like revive dead things, like kind of restore them to life, and it kind of worked, but they were still undead, so it brought them back as zombies.
But like me having seen what it did to the forest and then having it like have a very minor effect when I touched it before I put it in my bag, I am all for it being gone.
I think that, I mean, my character, he wants to take it to, he does actually want to take it to the guild to see if we can get in touch with some contacts just to maybe study the thing, because who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Like, we don't know anything about it. What if we destroy it and it's like an atom bomb?
Or it's the answer to all the problems. It
Yeah,
could be a
maybe.
magic thing that was just used wrong. So I agree with Casimir.
We don't
Sorry.
know if we're the only ones who know about it. If people know that we have it, we could be in danger.
So then we would keep it hidden. And I think Brielle is the one that needs to carry it because she's the most inconspicuous.
Like
But she
the
wants to
ring.
get rid of it.
Yeah, exactly. Just like
Like the ring! Lois watched Lord of the Rings.
Man.
Okay, my precious.
Oh, references she's throwing out.
And no,
She
I
threw
still
that out
don't
very wrong. That was a very wrong reference.
Yes.
Lois, I will watch it again if you watch it.
We should just have a D&D night where we all just sit here and
Yeah,
watch
we'll
Lord
put
of
it
the
on
Rings.
live stream. We'll stream it.
3 hours.
Less than that.
it's being released in 4K like this year at some point. So
When, I'm actually very interested in that. When-
It's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be December.
well, yeah, that's when they're hoping to get it out by December, but then the whole COVID thing happened, and then they're not 100% set on the December thing, but they're still pushing for December.
All right, yeah. So
They'll get it
Like,
by December because
a little
people will
off.
buy it for Christmas.
yeah, there we go. And it's on Netflix. I think still, Lois. You should watch it. Very good.
I will
Wait,
buy
no.
you extended editions and ship them to you.
No.
Man. Okay, so as you guys.
Do you
kind
think
of
there's something
reverse-
Grandma would like, you guys? You know how she gets all freaky about weird stuff.
No, she
I
wouldn't.
think Grandma would like it.
You do?
I don't think there's
You
too
would like
much
the
violence.
orcs. You even like the orcs.
Well, she
Or-
does this when there's violence.
Yeah. The orcs she might be like, ugh, but it's a very heroic story. Like it's very
Yeah, it's just really good. It has
It's
good
very-
and bad, and
It's pure at its core.
yeah, it's it's Lord of the Rings is it's iconic for a reason. It's a reason all this stuff comes from Lord of the Rings. Like
I
D&D,
mean,
so much.
my grandpa my grandpa watched it, and well, I don't think he watched the entire trilogy, but he watched one of them, and he was like, "Yeah, it's all right."
Yeah.
So the first one's the one I really need to do.
No, the first one's not the best one though.
But
so you have to do all three.
Okay, just watch the first one. Don't oversell it. Watch the first one and then see if you're want to continue. Not The Hobbit though.
I'm sure I'll probably like it. And I read The Hobbit in high school, and I was like, I didn't like it at all.
Yeah, but now
that could have been because I was in high school.
Yeah, you were afraid of being a nerd.
I watched the movie and I did like it.
Yeah, so.
You're afraid of being a nerd.
Exactly. So much of that.
No, I don't have a fear of nerddom. My whole freaking family's a bunch of nerds.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, they were then too.
All right, so as you guys are
real,
as you guys are kind of falling, so as you guys are getting tired, the night's winding on. Does anyone take watch?
I'll do it.
Jim Bob.
And, we're gonna have 2 people because you can do it in shifts. So we're gonna do a quick little shift thing. So,
Yeah,
Veruca and anyone else.
Well, yeah, I'll take first shift too.
Okay, Veruca and Castamir take first shift. So the other 2 are able to kind of go and do your sleep. And as the year has.
Castamir and I are going to talk about how we can join forces and kick butt and take names.
Okay, yeah. Actually, I was going to ask that. I want to do this little when you take watch because there's the group can talk, but I want little character moments between. So what does Veruca and Castamir talk about as they take watch? And Veruca wants to start it off
goodness. What's the new skill that I have that goes well with his? Let me find one of my post-it notes.
I
let Castamir take the lead. I'm going to say, what do you think?
What's happening right now?
What was that?
What was what?
Oh, I heard a really weird sound. Anyway, I'm going to ask Castamir to take the lead. I'm going to say, I think we have skills that match. What do you think?
Yeah,
sounds like you're in love with him.
What?
I think we got matching skills. What about you?
How about you and me make some magic?
Oh, man.
And that is how the night was spent.
Roll for this?
Smells, you pervert.
Do I need to roll Constitution?
Do what?
You roll Constitution. I mean, okay. This is also thinking you guys, if you want your characters to be an item, as long as the players are okay with that.
I'm not going to be an item with my Brielle. Not going to do that. No.
Brielle is not with Castamir in game.
No, you're not in this, but you are.
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet. There we go.
You're in the same building right now.
No, so it's basically what Veruca is good at is she uses the whisper. She likes to hear secrets. She's kind of trading in rumors and secrets to influence people's opinions, and she's good at getting into kind of like the noble society, kind of infiltrating. She's like a spy, basically.
I'm a spy.
Yeah, you can perfectly be a snob if you wish to kind of mimic them, and you're able to. So whereas Casimir's more about taking things of material value, you can take things of maybe the hidden secret of this noble and use it against him, kind of deal. You're able to make people afraid of you, and they don't know why. So then they're able to.
I'm big and mean.
Yeah, so you're able to just kind of almost put thoughts into people later on. I don't think you can do that yet, but that's kind of what you do there.
So yeah, I think we would kind of hash out some plans about kind of teaming up on the next contract that I take, and I could use a plant if the contract calls for it, and she'd be perfect for that.
Okay. And,
would this be the kind of thing that I could get in with the nobles and I could tell them what's going, just make them think that I'm just this another person like them, but we could find their money?
Well, I mean, it depends on the contract. Sometimes there are assassination jobs that are just in and out, quick and dirty, and then sometimes, it's a long con where, you do have to kind of wine and dine the nobles and get a man on the inside or a woman.
Okay. Yeah, this could be useful.
All right. So as you guys kind of spend your conversation plotting and planning against the noble societies and thinking of all their secrets and gold they might have. You turn in and are able to wake up Rael and Jakuba for their shift at watch. So as you
who's
guys
who's gonna kick Jakuba?
Who's gonna kick Jakuba awake?
Jim Bob.
I throw a flashbang.
So then Jakuba and Brielle, it's your turn at watch as you guys kind of like come out, kind of blinking your eyes a bit at being woken up. What do you guys talk about?
Well, this is my favorite time of day or night or whatever. Like, Brielle loves the dark, and Lois is dead.
She's getting really... Lois is really into her roleplay there. Method acting. Yeah. Method acting.
I am just like in my element now. I'm leaning against the leg of my horse, just staring at the stars. I'm like halfway keeping, an ear out for trouble, but mostly I'm just kind of just enveloped in the darkness and stars and moon.
I'm by the firelight, just like totally unconcerned of how much noise I'm making. I'm just polishing my sword again. Hard at work.
Okay, so they spend their night kind of in silence, not talking to each other.
Okay, and, now I'm awake.
Yeah. You see Veruca just open the tent briefly, blurry-eyed, like with her sleep mask flipped up, just like
I actually
staring at Jakuba. I do too. I need it. I wear a sleep mask and a dental night guard. All this, I go full out. I need my equipment. So you actually do it. Brielle, you kind of like as the night passes, like in your shifts that you take, you're able to kind of like, it's not the best sleep you've ever had because you have to spend a little less to make sure everyone's keeping an eye out after you've seen what can happen.
Sword sharpener.
Yeah. So as you the sun kind of rises, Brielle's like watching it. Jakuba, your sword is polished to a gleam. It still has some dents and some knots, but it's very gleaming. And so you guys are able to. The sun comes up, and you're able to gather together your camp and continue back on the path. And we'll say for this one, you're able to kind of travel the duration, and it takes you another probably like 6 hours walking. You kind of share a quick meal. It's still a very pastoral setting. It's nothing that's too eye-catching. It seems very mundane. You start to see some farmer kind of like out in the distance working some lands, some like farm animals, goats, cows. As you kind of like getting closer, they start to get more dense. The forest fades away as it turns to totally worked lands, as you see some cottages, some windmills by a stream. And you make your way to you see a small, kind of like a medium-sized village. It's not too small, not too big, has like probably 1,000 villagers, you would guess from looking at it, kind of like
Rossville.
Yeah, it's like a little Rossville size medieval town. And so you guys kind of like make your way here.
Along the way during the day, I have been collecting flower seeds and from the flowers, and also convincing just random like bees to join my colony that I'm going to build as soon as I get to town.
Okay, do an animal handling check with your bees. And as she's doing that, what does
Come,
anyone else do?
follow me!
I think I'm frozen.
You get stung. So Brielle, you're trying to coax these bees, and as you're talking to them, they do not understand your concern or your big grand plan of a colony. They're just very simple-minded and are almost offended that you're trying to replace the queen, and they give you a little sting.
I'm going to turn into the queen, into a queen bee.
Okay, we're doing that. Yeah, we're gonna move on to someone else, but she's now being stunned. Okay, do a deception check with advantage, and then we're gonna flip over to what is everyone else doing? Well, you just see Brielle just She's like trying to talk to this like swarm. She's poking a swarm of bees, gets stung, turns into a bee.
It worked.
Small to smaller.
Yes. So you now have convinced this bee. They're almost like aghast that they feel like they might have injured. They're confused because your pheromones, your scents blend together. So now they've kind of in their minds have mixed the bee as well as the halfling.
Do you need a bee facial check?
So you.
What happened to Cody?
Yeah.
My phone died.
Okay, but he's still in here. All right,
Plug
so
it in.
yeah, you have Grail just flies off. She's the bee. She's the bee.
With little short wings.
And what are the rest of you
Jim
guys
Bob is with me, guys. Jim Bob's following my bee colony.
Your bee colony of one?
No, the colony is with me now.
Because you're a queen.
Yes.
All right, what are you guys doing here?
I'm
All
shaking
right.
my head at Brielle.
Yeah, I'm.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna because we're just packing up camp, right?
You know, you actually got to the town.
Oh, okay. Oh, perfect.
Let's look around.
You did take 2 points of poison damage, Grail. Mark that. From being stung.
Oh, from the sting.
Yeah.
I don't know how. Where? What?
So just in your current HP, so you would.
I make my way to the trade district, and I try to find myself a blacksmith
Okay, and then while
of
Jakuba's
good repute.
looking to there, what is Castamir and Veruca doing?
Is there any wealthy people there?
You would see that probably a lot of people do a quick perception check. I'm going to roll for you.
That's good because I can't roll for me.
Yeah.
Did you know that bees are actually allergic to their own venom? If they if another bee stings another bee, it will die.
Okay,
But
so
why
are you
would a
dead
bee
then?
sting it?
You turned into a bee. Are you dead?
Well, no, because I got stung before I was a bee.
Oh, it's a good thing.
Oh, you rolled pretty high. You rolled 18 there. And Lois, actually, if you want to get you can get a cheap set of these on Amazon for like $6 if you want.
Actually,
like,
I'm
your own
waiting
set.
for Bridget to make me
Make
one.
some.
Well, I'm waiting for my molds to exist. They're not here yet.
Okay.
You know, when you buy stuff from Wish, who knows when they get here?
Oh gosh, I better get some on Amazon.
Yeah, so you're actually able to perceive, and you kind of like you. It's not quite like you see a lot of farmers kind of milling about, but you can almost sense that there is a bit of a nobility. They're not kings and queens and dukes. They're just kind of the mayor, kind of his own little retinue, kind of like the
The
political
city
leaders.
snobs.
The city snobs, the village snobs, the kind of the political leaders.
Yeah, village. That's right.
And you do see a couple of them as they're talking, kind of like heading, kind of they're in conversation, quickly muttering to each other as they're walking, and you can tell that they have their purses are much fatter, their coin pouches than the others that you see. And Castamir, what are you doing?
If I go to the shop, is that my action for this phase?
It's not quite so rigid as this is kind of like I'm just bouncing between you. So yeah, it would just be like you'd be at a shop, probably with Jakuba in the market district. Veruca's looking at these wealthy people, and Brielle's off being a bee. So that's kind of where everything is, and I would just kind of bounce between you guys.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm definitely gonna go hit up a shop. I don't know, do I need to roll perception to see what shops are in the area?
I would say it's a small enough place you can find the shops. Yeah. So this one, it's like you could easily ask someone. It doesn't require much charisma or anything. You just be like, hey, where are the shops at? So in this small town, you're able to kind of easily they direct you towards, and you actually see Jakuba. You're heading in the same direction, and Jakuba, you find a kind of it's actually the only dwarf in town. He's kind of famous for it. Anytime they ask,
Hello, Shane.
Shane, bro.
I think it's frozen.
Oh, he's moving.
Oh. You're back.
Okay, so where did I last? Basically, Jakuba and Casper head to the market district. Jakuba, you find they direct you to the only dwarf actually in town, and yeah, so he's like your typical dwarven blacksmith. They direct you there. He's kind of famous for being the only dwarf around these parts. And Castamere, if you're looking for the general store, it's kind of like nearby, almost within earshot of Jakuba. Kind of like, it's a small little market square. Everything's kind of clustered together, and it's a guy who's a purveyor of general goods.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, hit the general store then.
All right. So if that's what you're looking for, so you guys go in. And what are you guys doing there?
I go up to the shopkeep. I ask about. I tell them that I need basic supplies like some jerky, some torches. I think they have a thieves kit, like a road kit or anything already on.
I think you have. Yeah, I think you have a thieves kit. Like
okay.
Thieves tools, yeah.
Okay, cool. And then I just need some other, like some real basic ingredients for like the most basic poison. Like the most basic poison oil.
Okay, as you talk about a poison, though, he starts to get a little sketched out by you. Like everything else, he's kind of getting there, and you're just like, oh yeah, and poison. It's like a little like.
I want some jerky, and I want some vegetables, and some poison.
Yeah.
So I roll deception to convince him that it's actually an old remedy from a far off land for my ailing nephew.
Okay, so as you kind of describe,
sounds like a murder plot to me.
So yeah, do a deception really quick, because you're kind of like.
You better roll high, buddy, because we're not buying it.
It's like you're the serial killer, like pulling out like rope and lie at the checkout counter, being like, yeah, totally similar thing.
It's just to take the horse across the street.
I'm gonna contest your deception with his.
Cody
wisdom.
died.
Yeah, totally.
So this guy rolls really low on his wisdom. So as you kind of like, your lie's not very good. You're just like, yeah, it's for my like cousin. He has like a condition, you know. And he's like, oh yeah, fucking. He starts talking about how he has these horrible planter's warts he can't get rid of, and sometimes he needs to like really get something aggressive.
I know about those verrucas.
Yeah, the verrucas. Yeah. So he.
Is it your name, Veruca?
It is, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he buys the lie there.
Yep.
And you're able to. He gets you the components you're asking for, like the disparate pieces. The more medicinal stuff you're looking for is a little expensive there, and probably runs you. Like the torches and jerky are relatively cheap, but the components for that stuff, I can't really find it quickly here. It looks like these.
Did he get the poison?
He got components for a poison, and I would say it's probably this guy not quite knowing what it is, because I also don't really know what they are right now. But they are kind of rare and expensive, so he asks for, I think it's 20 gold for these more disparate pieces. Because I'm reading here, and the lowest poison I can see, serpent venom, is 200 gold to buy. So we're going to say, as a more simpler poison, probably would run like 50 or 40 gold, so we're going to say 20 gold of components to make them.
I need to buy something that just makes people sick and doesn't kill them.
Well, that's no good in combat. Could I roll a persuasion to try and get the price down, like 3 gold?
Okay, so you're able to. He haggles a bit, and he's like, he feels sorry for your cousin with this horrible condition. So he kind of negotiates it down. Doesn't quite like the 3 gold offer, but he knocks off a gold and a half. So like a gold and 5 silver. And he's like, all right. Kind of takes it off there. And so you're able to get some of this. And I'll say this poison you can make is it's the simplest poison, I think, is it gives them disadvantage, because the typical poison condition would give them disadvantage. So they would have disadvantage for their next attack, like the simplest poison you can make. And then as you make it more potent, we can increase to like damage or it lasts longer. But the bare minimum is just they have disadvantage, like they're disoriented almost.
All right, good enough.
And then I'll do quick price checks and some of that stuff to make it more. But I think making stuff usually costs more. Jakuba, you're working with you come in and you find this dwarf kind of like hammering away. And he has like one of his hands is chopped off, and he's been replaced it with like a big metal claw that he looks to have made himself, and he's just banging away on the sword. What are you doing here?
I at first I say they're a little transfixed at his metal hand, and I admire it.
He nods, he's like, yeah, I know.
Cool.
I ask him if he gives lessons and if he can teach me how to become a better smith.
He like looks you up and looks, and because he's like 4 foot tall, he's a dwarf. He's like strokes his beard with his metal claw, like combs it. It's very, very well combed. It looks like the primary purpose of his claw is to comb his beard as he's like going through it. And he's like, I mean, I haven't taken apprentices in a while, but it takes a while to learn the craft. Not sure if you're just blowing into town. I can smell the stink of those rat catchers on you, always traveling here and there. I don't think that you have the temperament to settle down and learn a proper trade.
If you don't have,
call us rat catchers.
You wouldn't know that. You're not there, but he did call you rat catchers.
Well, I look around on the walls, and does he have any javelins on the walls?
Yeah.
Yeah. I point to those, and I ask him if he doesn't have time to teach me how to become a better smith. I wonder if he has time to just to help me make some of those.
He's like, dude, do your persuasion. He's like, I'll sell you some. What do you want to watch as I make some?
I want to make some Goliath harpoons.
Yeah, he tells you that the price of these javelins are 5 silver a piece as you throw them. And they have the chance. They're not very well made. They could break on a throw. Yeah, and he's like, all right. I'm working on something here, but I have a couple that could use some of the heads. I'll show you briefly how I kind of attach. These are already made, the heads, but I'll show you how I attach them to the wood here. And so he shows you how he makes one of them, and he's. How many are you looking to buy?
Well, I was hoping to make some.
Making them probably takes longer, kind of thing. So we'll say like you're kind of like. In my head, it's like, this is not what happens, but it's just really funny. So I just imagine it's the scene from Ghost as he like comes behind your hand and helps form the javelin.
Oh God!
No, so that's not what happens.
And he's 4
really
foot tall. And
yeah, he's 4 foot tall. You're like 8
so
feet tall.
he's around your leg.
You have such a nice metal claw.
And he's putting it in your leg.
No, but with that one, he shows you.
Am I left yet, or am I just like watching all of this?
You're in kind of the separate. You're in like the separate store. This is kind of like simultaneously when you're talking with this poison. So I'll say with that one, you don't convince him to like teach you something, but you can watch to see if you pick up something. And
I do that, and I buy some javelins.
Okay, so just kind of tell me how much javelins you want to buy as we flip to
5.
Veruca. So what are you doing, Veruca? So that would be.
I'm going over to the herbs and oils store.
Okay, that's 30 silver.
Okay.
So Veruca, as you're passing, you keep note of the rich nobles that are kind of walking by with their purses, and you just kind of walk by them. You say?
I don't know. In my pickpocket, can I try and get their money and convince them that I need help?
You could certainly try something. I'm not. So if you come up with a scheme like picking their pocket would be something called a dexterity check. That's like what Casimir's good at, is sneaking up and just kind of reaching in and grabbing.
Well, where is Casimir?
He's off buying.
He's buying poison.
He would probably be, if you're wanting to head the direction of like tinctures and
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm going to
it's
call
kind of
for
the
him.
same guy.
Hey, Casimir! Come here.
So I'd say it's a pretty small town, but you're able to walk over to because you were looking for the herbs and tinctures and stuff. So it's about the same place, kind of everything. There's only a few shopkeepers that kind of are general.
So
they do a lot of stuff.
I'm gonna talk to Casimir and say, okay, there's a bunch of people with wads of gold in their purses, and you can see it. And I'll go talk to them and convince them that I'm just like them. And while I'm talking to them and I have them totally enthralled, take their money.
That's tempting. However, if you give me a little bit of time, I can go and sniff out a guild operative and find us a contract that's not just out here in the wide open in the middle of the daylight.
He doesn't like being a petty thief. He likes a little bit more fancy, it sounds like.
I mean, I'm a guild operative. I'm not just gonna risk getting caught and thrown in jail for 20 silver.
I'm pretty convincing, and it's gold.
Well, I don't know if you know.
I
You're
know.
not sure what's in there.
They're rich
So
people.
It doesn't
I know.
look like Casimir's going to help you.
I know, so I'm off to get my peppermint oil.
Okay. What's peppermint oils do specifically? Is it?
Well, it's very good if you have congestion or a headache, but you can also throw it on people and it burns like crazy.
Okay.
And it's an anti-nausea.
It's
Yeah,
like
if you're
snake
sick.
oil, but smells good.
And
No, it does burn. if you
keep,
get it
it'll
right.
keep spiders out of your house if you soak it in cotton balls.
Okay. I don't really have damage rules for peppermint oil, but I will.
Mice hate it.
Yeah. I'll say it's not something.
It's useful for
With
everything.
a roll to soak those in cotton balls and then like use it on an actual spider encounter, like in a cave or something.
Yeah, no, I would. So I would consider something. So what I would say with that is, you're able to very much distract like a creature with a strong sense of smell using the peppermint oil. It doesn't cause like physical damage to them, but it would definitely potentially make them like
Run away.
scared or
Like a
affected.
giant snake. A giant snake would freak out because it'd be like, what is that?
It would be affected definitely. A strong dose of peppermint oil. So
And it's also good for, like, if you're sick. It's a good thing, like Bridget said, for nausea. It's good for headaches, things like that.
okay. And these kinds of things, especially even just the vials themselves, are expensive in this kind of medieval time. They're hard to make. So as you talk, kind of haggle back and forth with this guy, he does have a single vial of peppermint oil. It's kind of hard to get as you have to like
Smash
individually,
peppermint
smash a bunch of them and extract it just for a little bit of juice. And but he will sell you one for 5 gold.
I'm gonna try and talk him down. So
Okay. What are you just gonna like kind of haggle back and forth, or do you have like a plan?
I don't know. Do I have to roll for persuasion?
I'm gonna roll for persuasion, but if depending on how well you have to like form an argument.
Well,
you
if he
sometimes
doesn't
roll.
get to where I want, I'm gonna make him feel like dirt.
Or scare him.
Yeah, or scare him. So I want to pay like 1 gold. And
Is there anything, is there anything that we could, other than like fabric to carry stuff? Like if I had a jar, could it be like a pottery kind of jar?
Yeah,
or like
you
a
could probably
box
do pottery or something. Yeah.
For what?
to carry something that would have a liquid, like blood or like honey that I'm making?
Not clay. That wouldn't work for me, for my oil that I'm trying to get.
I would say you could probably find pottery stuff that might be a little bit cheaper than glass. I lost my little ability to roll stuff. Hold on.
I think Castamere with his alchemy needs to invent plastic.
Invention of plastic.
I'm not an alchemist. I just know just enough alchemy.
To be dangerous?
Yes.
You could learn over the course of the campaign, like you can.
Plastic
get
is
better and better at
dangerous.
it, but
I coat my dagger in plastic.
Coat in peppermint oil.
Yeah. So did I
Alright.
get my peppermint?
My roll 20 crash. No, you rolled like a 6. My roll 20
So he's
crashes.
not coming
out.
down.
So he's pretty firm as he's sitting there, and he's just like, it's the only vial in town. You don't know how many hours of labor it is to get just one little vial here. And just the vial itself, look at the craftsmanship. Look, have you ever seen such clear glass?
And here's what I say. Fine.
She really wants that peppermint oil.
All right, and Bree, what are you doing with your... You're in the bee colony. What are you doing? You're in the beehive.
That you just built.
So
She's in a
since
bee.
my pheromones like mixed with the bees and you said they got all kinds of confused and stuff, if I turn back into me, will they still follow me or do I have to stay a bee?
I would say they are certainly more likely to follow you than when they stung you, but it's not going to be a instant. So I'd probably say that the bees are not quite as enamored with you as the horses. If you turn back.
Well, I'm gonna be a queen until we, produce some honey. And I'm going to I'm gonna choke. I am also producing some princesses so that when I leave they are not queenless and my colony can continue. Because if the queen bee just like flat out leaves, the whole colony just dies, without a princess. So I have given birth to a princess.
Okay. All right. You
Who'd you have sex with?
The workers.
It's a whole party. There's a giant. I like how Veruca was squeamish about a relationship with Castamere in character, and Brielle's over here just having a giant beehive orgy.
She's sleeping with all the worker bees because she's got to produce a princess.
Yeah.
It's strictly business. All right, so
it's for your own sakes.
I don't even know. I'm not even gonna roll for that. I don't even know what the hell it is. So you have a bee princess now, I guess. Okay.
That's fucked up.
Literally.
Yeah. All right. So as you guys are kind of like, you hear rumors of these different. You're asking about town for kind of like the places to go. There's a respectable, reputable inn. It's like they call it the Rusty Mouse, just kind of like a small, respectable one that people go to. And there's the one that everyone tells you to stay away from, called the Wounded Rogue.
They tell us to stay away from it?
Tell you to stay away from them. They say it's dingy, it's dirty, the food is terrible, 0 stars.
Let's go check it out. We slept on the ground last night.
I'm currently inside of a hive, so...
It's hot and sticky in there, huh?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Shane,
Yes.
do I have armor?
Do you have what?
Armor.
Oh.
Let me check your... Doesn't say you do.
I thought you had like leather armor, like super basic.
It doesn't
armor.
say you have armor, which could be why you're getting your ass kicked a lot too. Like,
Okay. Can I buy some armor too?
okay, yeah, we'll do. What kind of armor are you willing to buy?
So chainmail like bogs me down, right?
Just not really. You're strong enough, so disadvantage on stealth is the only big thing.
All right. Give me some. Or what about plate armor? Is that?
That's really expensive. The most you can expect, like it's ring mail for heavy armor, which is probably what you want, is 30 gold. Chain mail would be 75 gold.
Whoa.
Wow.
And it goes up to
Okay.
200 gold for splint and 1,500 gold for plate armor.
How much
All
do you
right.
have?
I will
Not
do
bad.
30 gold.
All right. So your armor class is 14. So we'll do that now. So you're able to put on this plate mail. It does not add your dexterity because you're not able to really like move around in it, but it's very sturdy. It's kind of just like interwoven rings that are kind of like put into this armor here. Yeah, it's like leather armor with rings of heavy iron sewn into it. And as you guys look around, Veruca and Castamere are making your way. Jakuba, are you going with them or are you buying your armor?
I'm buying my armor.
So Veruca and Castamere, you find the Wounded Rogue as you go in, and it's it just looks like as soon as you walk in, there's a strong odor of like boiling socks. Like it smells terrible. It's,
Oh yeah,
like,
that smell. I'm very familiar with
dirty boiling socks. Like it's just like it's awful. There's some dingy tables, kind of like that are have years of unknown stains. There's only a few. It's like there's like a single dingy window that lets in almost no light because it's so just crusted with who knows what. And there's a single half-orc cook in the back, and he scowls at you as you walk in. He gives you a nod, acknowledging as you walk in, but he's scowling, and he goes back to stirring this big pot. And you go in,
soup.
and you see the menu only has 2 options. There's soup and ale.
Let's get an ale.
So as you
All
sit
right.
there, he asks for. You call back ale. He's like, "Do you want dark ale or darker ale?"
I want darker.
He sits there and he pulls this big like just bottle. He pours it one-handed because he's very beefy, and it's just this pure black liquid pours into it. It's almost like the smell of it burns off some of your nose hairs like inside as you smell it. And he sets it in front of you. He's like, "That'll be 1 copper."
I'll buy.
And then you give him a copper. He takes it and just puts it into his little apron. He's like,
I flash my guild medallion and tell him that I heard that the guild might have some work for me in this area.
He kind of looks at you, and then he's just like almost gives you like a kind of like a quick shake of the head, and he flicks his eyes up to. There's a plaque that says, like close to the menu. As you look closer, you see written in thieves' cant, kind of like a just in the menu. It says gives compliments to the chef. So like everyone sees like oh, give your compliments to the chef, but there's like the little thieves' cant symbol. To an untrained eye, it just looks like it might have been a knot in the wood. And he kind of like glances at that, and then he like looks over to this like a wall next to the like to the back of the kitchen. And at first glance, you just didn't notice anything as your eyes like rove over it. But as you look again, through the darkness, it's hard to make out. You peer, and it's like a seam kind of like into the wall. And he's
All
like,
right, so,
he kind of like, as he's like kind of like nervous, glances at Veruca. He's like, does she also give compliments to the chef?
all right, so yeah, I walk over to the wall and kind of inspect it a little bit, and just on a whim, I just say my compliments to the chef.
And he glances at Veruca.
My compliments to the chef. That was good ale.
It was not. It was very bad ale.
No, it was good.
And he's like, "Mm." And he kind of like reaches and he pulls the thing, and then the door kind of slides just briefly enough to squeeze by. And you guys are able to make your way
I
down.
just close by.
And you see these steps just descend, almost like go down, curve, go down, curve. It's like a descending staircase kind of thing. And you're able to kind of like go down like a level. And as you walk into this entrance, it looks much nicer. Like there's a few other people who are shrouded with cloaks. It's hard to make out their faces in the very dim light from the candles. And there's a half-elf on this dais playing this harp very beautifully, but very loudly, trying to cover the sound of conversation. So it's hard to make out anything that anyone's saying.
Am I half-elf?
You are half-elf as well, yes. And you actually see a bit better in the dark. You have kind of cat's eyes, so you still can't make out the faces. Yeah, you can't quite make out the faces beneath the cloaks, but you're able to catch some flashes as you kind of see a little bit further in the darkness. And it's much nicer down here. It's like the dingy atmosphere up top is gone. It's almost like a kind of like a antique rustic feel as you look, and everything is much nicer.
It's where the wealthy people hang out.
Speakeasy.
And
also, we gotta go to bed soon because it's like 11 o'clock.
Okay, I'm gonna say that this is probably then a good time to end. Just a nice cliffhanger there.
I gotta get up in like 6 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was super fun, guys.
Yeah, I can't take credit for the Wounded Rogue actually, because I bought a book that has some cool like taverns and stuff, and I read this one, and it has guild contracts like in it. I'm like, we're not rolling for this. We're gonna role play this stuff out because this is super cool. So yeah, the Wounded Rogue, I really like that one.
The county that I live in is Rogue.
Ooh.
And it's wounded from the fires.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh no. Maybe there's like a contract there. Okay, Takuba, I'm gonna do something really cool with your armor to make sure it's a thing. AC worn armor. You added it there. Core stats. Boom. It counts. Okay. Quick note: you can't sleep in that armor.
Oh.
So just whenever you're bed, it's just like if you guys get surprised in the night, just note that you don't have the armor on, because heavy armor is like very. If you wear like light armor, you can get away with it, but if it's heavy armor, it's hard to like move around and comfortably to sleep. You could probably try to sleep in it. It's just there's a check to see if you wake up tired. It's like a constitution. Anyone else have anything? But like, because I know we're going to end there. But any like other quick things to go over? Lois, you got your spells there. A lot of them need questions on those.
Yeah, I think I should just talk to you maybe on, take notes and talk to you on, and when I'm talking to you, you'll have to take notes because I don't know about you, but if there's somebody on there that talks for more than 2 minutes, I'm like, what did they ask?
I'll make it like, I'll try to, I know I was doing these long explanatory videos. I'm going to do quick
It's like,
things,
I can't remember anything you said.
I'll just be like, core stats in 10 seconds. Just try to really quickly. And then I'll make that one and the next one. All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. Good night, everybody. This was
Good
fun.
night.
Quick before we go, vote on a play of the game. So who had the coolest moment?
Gosh, we're resting.
I'm gonna say Brielle for the bees.
Yeah, me too. She turned into a freaking bee and had sex with some worker bee.
Okay, so Brielle, next session.
An air.
All right.
At least I have an air somewhere.
Since we didn't do inspiration. Whoever didn't use their inspiration, it was Jakuba and Casimir, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna just as a quick, because you didn't use your inspiration, so I rolled a little dice here. You get 3 gold. You literally just found a lucky penny kind of deal. So you get 3 gold.
Nice.
If you don't use your inspiration, we'll just use a small little bonus if you forgot about it. But it's more useful in your. Yeah, it's very small. I'm rolling like a little 4-sided dice. So don't hold your inspiration expecting to get like a big payout. But I don't want to punish you for forgetting. But next time, so Brielle, and I'm going to give Veruca inspiration next time. So you two have, remember, next time we start the session, you're able to basically re-roll any die you want if something didn't go your way.
Are we still going to be in the village?
Yeah, next time we're going to start basically right where we left off. So you guys have just gotten access to basically the speakeasy, like the secret kind of like tavern beneath. Jakuba's still buying armor, and Brielle is having the time of her life this week.
She's an F&B. Literally.
Yeah. Hey, honey has a whole lot of uses, from antioxidants to helping wounds to making food.
Yes, it's good food. But you have to have sex with a worker.
Wow, honey is worth 1 gold per bottle of it in the D&D universe. So if you actually do get a farm going, because you if you guys want to, you could literally like open a bakery like this. It is your world. You can do like whatever you want. There's ways to make money besides.
I'm thinking if we have to travel someplace, we got to make sure she has a portable hive.
It could. I would, for something like bees though. It's like the owl you can communicate more with, but a bee might require persistent animal handling checks to make sure it doesn't stink someone.
Yeah, well, animals don't like me, so
they don't. Yeah. And actually, really like quick though, because I'm going to forget next time these little details. Jakuba, as you're buying armor, the mark on your hand fades, and Brielle, this owl comes by looking for you, and it lands on this branch, and it senses you're around, but doesn't know that you're a bee. All right, yeah, those are the 2 little loose threads. Okay, so I think if there's nothing else to add there, all right, good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thanks, DM.
Thanks, DM.
All right, good night.